Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. The Blue Jackets continue their homestand tonight when they host the Hurricanes at 7:30. Canes lead the Metro Division at 98 points. Jackets fourth and in the second wildcard spot with 88. NBA Lakers star LeBron James can become the association's all-time wins leader tonight when he faces his former team, the Cavaliers, for what could be the final time. Tip-off set for 10:30. Golf 15-time major champ Tiger Woods told authorities he was looking at his phone and changing the radio station before his rollover crash last week per an affidavit obtained by ESPN. The 50-year-old Woods was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence last Friday after his car clipped the truck and rolled over near his home on Jupiter Island in Florida. This update sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, here we go. Rando Tuesday style, Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, the loose cannon behind the glass, and you all with us. And we're happy about that. How we feeling, boys?
What up? I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Can't complain about anything. You good over there?
Outstanding,
Good.
man. Jackets back on ice tonight, and 8 to go. Looks like Olivier's going to be out, like, maybe my guess would be the rest of the regular season. This is what happens when you're a brawler and things happen. And so, and with Sivo being week to week, and hey, this is it. And here's what I was thinking today, and this is what everybody wants. This isn't about chasing just to get this isn't about, I don't want to make this about just making the playoffs. But I do want to make it about that. Because when you go on an incredible run the way they've gone on, you have to get that payoff. Like, I think this would be a severe gut punch. To do what they've done under Bones, to make the switch, to have the guts to change the coach, and then have it pay off, and then have them go on an historic run to get back in the conversation, get this close, and then feel like you're kind of in the way Las Vegas says you're kind of in, and then the second they kind of say you're kind of in, you now start gripping a little bit and feeling the pressure. And, Maddie, this isn't about, as I say it, and this sounds really stupid, but I don't want to make the line about, okay, just get in. I never want to make that about them, but I also want to make it about them this year. There's a difference.
I think that's fair, though.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fair take to have.
They were left for dead.
For sure. They 100% were. So,
got to make it pay off.
Are you saying now that if for whatever reason the hockey gods don't bless us with a playoff appearance, that this season, in your opinion, will be deemed a disappointment? Is that how you'll look back at this year if they don't get in?
No, I will.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's maybe unfair based on the fact, but again, we go into the conversation. You kind of do it to yourselves.
Yeah.
You dig a little hole. You climb out of it. But to me, it's more of, this was so, how should I say this, unexpected when they made the change.
Because you just don't know.
I think there was hope because there was so much season left.
Yeah.
I think there were people that still thought, but they were 28th in the league.
Right.
And so, you know, the famous words.
The three most magical words in sports radio. Print the shirts.
Magical.
I'm not moving off that.
You need to change your word to magical.
I'm not moving off that.
Let me question. Is magical and curse about the same thing?
No.
Because in the
This
wizardry world, being magical and being able to curse
magical
things,
is
the same power.
This is a pleasant thing. This is something that's going to bring us joy here in a few weeks when we do see this Jackets team in the postseason. But there's no doubt.
I'm going to give you what they are now.
Okay, I'd love to hear that. There's a bad storm brewing right now, but storms don't last forever.
Horizon.
Storms don't last forever. The injury stuff, I can't stand.
Moon horizon.
You combine that with who we have to play over the next 2 games, and there's a little angst right now. I could probably feel, or I do feel, amongst the CBJ Nation, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm staying 10 toes down.
So when you gave out your magical curse, it was minus 350, which implies about a 78% chance.
And that minus 350 was we weren't getting it.
No, they were.
That we were getting it.
Yeah,
that was a favorite on the board.
If you, I remember at the time, you'll recall this. I said, go with the mental hedge because the value is not on betting them to get in anymore.
Yeah.
The value was them betting not to get in. And so I was offering up the buy your happiness or get paid for your sadness. Yeah. That's the theory of the mental hedge. They were minus 350. So don't bet them to get in. There's no value there. Bet them to not get in and hope you're paying for a postseason berth. Now we are at...
Don't tell me. I want to guess.
Okay.
I want to guess. Let's go. Now we're at minus 210.
You're a little high.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's not great. I ain't loving that. I ain't loving that.
Maybe more than just a little.
Minus
Las Vegas
where we
has
at?
spoken.
Where we at?
And they say that the Blue Jackets are now minus 130.
We got life, though.
Which implies, well, you're on the right side
there
of it.
There we go. We
implies about a 57% chance.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm not changing my tune, AR. I'm singing the same tune.
No, you got to go down with the ship, man.
The ship is not going to go down. don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't do that. Carolina the next two, which isn't ideal. I completely understand that. But crazier things have happened. And so what I'm hoping that we see, though, is the offense come to life a little bit here over the next two games. Because to me, that's obviously outside of the injuries been a little bit of a thorn in their side. Is just they're not lighting up the lamp enough. And clearly they know that. But
well, they did have a 3-0 lead with 13 minutes to go. The lamp was lit enough
in the first period. Yeah. But I'm just saying sustaining that throughout a game, too. I just want to see a little bit more of that.
Yeah. All right. We have a Tiger excuse or reason, depending on which side of the line you fall on. This sounds very convenient. I was distracted by the way, he went double distraction. I think he overplayed his hand here. I think you pick one.
Okay.
Yeah, to go with the old, I was looking down at my phone and changing the radio. Like, yeah, I mean, pick one and go with it. You're fat, you're thin, you're thin, you're fat. Pick a body and go with it. Like, that is bad.
Looking at my phone and changing the radio.
Yeah. I'm going to buy that he could have been distracted by the phone, but then when you see the glassy, bloodshot eyes, and I'm almost okay with him stumbling around based on that he was just in a rollover car accident. Like that could
stun you a little bit.
Could get the cobwebs.
No doubt.
You know, that could get you. And he also has 1 million surgeries, so he's not going to be able to balance on one foot and all that. And if he's stumbling around after crawling out of his rollover, like I think you're right, you could be a little bit off kilter.
For sure.
So I'll actually give him on that. But this now I guess we weren't there. Could he have been driving too fast? Looked at his phone. The pickup truck in front of him suddenly stops to turn into a driveway. He looks up, has to swerve, catches the bumper, and away we go. Yes, very possible. It is. But I would have gone with just one. I would have said I was adjusting the radio and looking at my phone. And then, so he was alert, he was answering questions. They said he was sweating profusely, but he was just in a severe car accident. Like that could get anybody's pores to open up. And, but the severe signs of impairment and the fact that he refused the urine test, which I've looked into this, the Florida law now, if he refused the test, because they can't go back, they can't force him to do a blood test, they can't force him to do the urine test. He denied it. He blew 000 on the breathalyzer, so they know that it wasn't an alcohol impairment. And the fact that he's had 7 back surgeries and 20 leg operations would make anybody stumble during a field sobriety test. But, when he went to the hospital, he refused any treatment. He'll have a court appearance in April. My gut is that his license gets suspended on the refusal, probably 12 months. So all these people that say, hey, you need a driver, he may be forced to get one. And then maybe he'll like it.
And hopefully he'll just kind of continue to do that because at this point, like he's got to get right, man. This stuff cannot continue to happen because it's scary stuff, right? When you're talking about what can happen to him, what can happen to others, and cars are rolling over and all that stuff, like it's as real as it gets. And so hopefully this shakes the room enough for him to realize, well, yes, I may have some cool sports cars that I want to drive around and go fast here and there. Like, it's just not necessary anymore. And so what comes out of this is going to be interesting to see. I know TLC has some Michael Wilbon sound on the whole Tiger situation. Let's hear what he has to say.
These aren't mishaps. These are huge either lapses of judgment or capability, because this isn't the first, or as you mentioned, the second incident with a vehicle. Tiger Woods, who has to be worth north of $500 million, you can't find a driver. You can't, there's nobody in your life that will force you, that will intervene and say, dude, you're going to lose your life. How many chances do you want at this? Yeah. These are not mishaps, Tone. These are stunning developments.
Yeah. He's saying what most level-headed people how they would react. That this is, but by the way, and I want to take this out of it, the wealth part of it, okay, does he have the means to have somebody drive him? Of course he does. But very wealthy people like to drive, and they like to drive fancy cars, and they're entitled to drive fancy cars. They've earned it, or they have it, whatever. And so this is more of what he said, which is you're taking your life in your own hands if you're going to pop pain pills and drive, which is what I'm guessing he has done. That's my guess. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's what most people think. They found hydrocodone in his pants or whatever. They're in his pocket or whatever. And so he's probably trying to deal with pain every day and treat it with probably something as minor as acetaminophen to hydrocodone. And he has no business being behind the wheel of a car if he's self-medicated.
Correct.
No reason. Yep. And so it's on him. And maybe one day soon he'll do an interview, but he'll probably go to court first. All right, we're going to come back, and we got Tyvis Powell this hour at 12:30. So we'll get all of his football acumen to the table here. And we'll stay with the Brownies next because the owner is changing his tune. We'll let you hear that next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Austin Ward here, fired up for warm weather, golf season, longer days, more time outside. Ride the momentum and finally drop the weight you keep saying you will. With Awaken 180, it's fast, easy, and we're all proof that it works. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Forget the pot of gold. Save some green at Coghlan Ford. During Ford Truck Month, take over $13,000 off MSRP, plus no payments until June on select new F-150s. New Bronco Sport or Ranger. Lease for $399 a month for 48 months. Visit CoglanFord.com.
Coghlan has the car for you.
Factory rebates to the dealer. 90-day deferred payments. Not all buyers will qualify. Bronco $399 down. Ranger $2,000 down. 7,500 miles per year. 25 cents per mile over. Excludes $250 dock fee. $395 disposition fee at lease. No security deposit. Ends 3/31/26.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero turns, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off of closing costs. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 5.99% APR, 6.02% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years.
I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Springtime is here, and you know what that means. It's time for Mulch Madness. Did you know that too much mulch is bad for trees and shrubs? 2 inches of mulch is plenty. Any more and you risk causing roots to grow up and around trunks, which increases unhealthy stress, shortens tree life, and even keeps moisture from getting down to tree roots. To find out more about Mulch Madness or to find a certified arborist near you, visit treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Last year, Eric Reeser and T-Bone staged the first annual Fan 5K. People had a good time and no one died. So we decided to do it all again. It all goes down Saturday, June 20th in Otterbein.
Presented by the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center.
Will Reeser's muscular calves explode? Will T-Bone's beard choke him while running? More importantly, will Tyvis, Common Man, and Timmy make total fools of themselves? Maybe. Magic 8 Ball says signs point to yes. Register today at 971therace.com. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see partly cloudy skies and very windy conditions here for today, with winds gusting up to near 40 miles per hour. It will also be quite warm with highs around 80 degrees this afternoon. And then showers and storms arriving here for tonight with lows down to 63. We'll see more showers and a few storms here on Wednesday with highs in the 60s. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice on 97.1 The Fan.
31 flavors. This is going to be tough. All right, Matty, giveaway.
Yes, sir. Another giveaway today. Winner is going to get tickets to the Aviators' inaugural game Friday night at historic Crew Stadium. Free T-shirts for the first 5,000 fans. Gavin DeGraw at halftime and kickoff is at 8 o'clock. So if you want to get into the building, stay locked in with us. Stay locked in with us. TLC's got tickets ready and waiting just for you.
Beautiful. Giving away tickets.
Eating pizza on the job right now on the fly.
Exactly.
God,
what a life.
King of multitasking over there.
It's amazing.
Shirt. Yeah.
Just amazing. All right. Remember when Browns owner Jimmy Haslam said he swung and missed? Like, basically, let's wave the white flag on Deshaun Watson. Like, all right, you know, life's a gamble. Well, let me tell you, this was a big damn gamble that didn't pay off. This isn't.
You know what? Life's a gamble. Let's take him.
Thanks, Thurman. So they did. And he's still there. And he got re-injured. And he's never really been right. And maybe now, you know what? If you run a business and you paid a lot of money for something and you can't really sell it, like maybe it's a vehicle, maybe you bought a vehicle and you bought it, you spent a lot of money on it, and you thought it was going to be great, and you just had a lot of problems with it, and now you feel like, well, I'd like to get rid of it because it's been a headache, but no one's really going to take this off my hands.
Yeah.
But I spent a lot of money on it. I have some emotion involved in it, and I got some new parts for it. It's not going to run the way I thought it would, but I spent a lot of money on it, and I still own it, and I want to see this through. And I feel like that's what Jimmy, I think Jimmy paid a lot of money for Deshaun Watson, and he's still here. And he doesn't have the quarterback problem solved yet. And he's probably thinking, maybe I was too quick. And this is why owners probably don't need to be in front of a microphone. because I think what he did, he wanted to placate the fans, and he wanted to fall on the sword to take the heat off his guys in the administration, and he wanted to say, my choice, my guy, big swing and a miss, we move forward. So now Jimmy took responsibility and accountability, which everybody wants people in his position to do. Take ownership of it. You are the owner. By definition, take ownership. But he can't help himself because he paid a lot of money for Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson is still on his roster, on his payroll. And if he's still on my payroll, I want him to work, or at least see if he can work. Can I get anything out of him? And so I'll read this quote, and this is before we get to Andrew Berry's comments. So this is Jimmy Haslam on Deshaun Watson now. There are a lot of quarterbacks who it seems to be kind of a theme in the NFL, either started or did not start well and then take their team to a Super Bowl championship, right? And what a great story that is for Sam Darnold. Deshaun started great. In the year before we signed him, he was rated the second best quarterback in the NFL. And then the suspension and the injuries and all that piled up. Can he come back from that? He certainly had the ability at one point in time, and we're cautiously optimistic, but we'll see. And then he went on to add that Deshaun Watson could go from a swing and a miss, his words, to a home run if he starts this year. So this was Jimmy Haslam trying to play every last card. Here's one for the fans. This was my fault. Here's one for the coaches. My bad choice. Here's one for the coach. Hey, he's still on the roster. Let's push Shador a little bit. Let's light a fire under him and Dylan. And I think the bottom line is that I come back to what I originally said. I'm still paying you. See if we can play football.
I think you're all over it with that. Owners don't like to have egg on their face when it comes to the money that they're spending or have spent already. That looks like it was money flushed down the toilet. That's an embarrassing thing when you're a billionaire. And usually, more times than not, those men and women are not used to being embarrassed because obviously they've had so much success in their life to become billionaires. So I completely agree with what you're saying about his comments about the whole Sam Darnold thing. That speaks to what we've heard for years and years. It's a copycat league. And so there's a belief now around the NFL that guys maybe that didn't get out of the gate strong can still have some life to them. And I think that's times 10 when you look back in the rearview mirror and you look at the old times that Deshaun was having down there in Houston as well. And the belief that maybe that's still there because he's not an old guy, like a super old guy in the league right now. And also, it's exactly what you identified, too. It's the $200+ million that they spent on him, and they got crushed out of the gate for that. They did. There was a bad look in the eyes of a lot of people at the time when they signed Deshaun to that contract. And on Deshaun's side of things, he had a lot of suitors. Felt like there's a lot of teams in the NFC South that were interested, and he leveraged that play. And I think a lot of players would do that as well. And so you and I had conversations a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, whenever this topic was brought up, that Deshaun's going to be heavily in the mix. He no doubt will be heavily in the mix when OTAs start, minicamp start, and training camp start. And when you combine all of this with what the new head coach had to say about the offense and Todd Monken saying, we got to build this thing from the ground up, not really giving anybody anything out of the gate, that let us know right then and there that in their minds, in both the coach's mind and ownership's mind, that Deshaun Watson is going to be a factor for them in some form or fashion, whether it's in the fall or definitely when we get into the stuff that's going to happen throughout summer and early fall.
And, you know, I've gone a little bit back and forth, not a lot on this. I'm what I mean by that is not my decision on whether or not they should keep him, because keeping him or getting rid of him is going to be very difficult. So I knew they'd probably have to keep him this year. It's about whether you want to invest in him. And I said this, and you may remember this from a month ago when I said that the weird part is for them, and this is why I told you that maybe they wouldn't want to play him. Because if he's better than okay, remember, he's got repeat torn Achilles. If he's better than okay, or let me even put it in simpler terms, if he's the best quarterback you have, it doesn't mean that he's franchise worthy. He may just be the best you have. And if he's the best they have, and he shows that this year, but you don't ever believe he's going to be the guy you think you traded for, you get yourself in a real big problem. You either use him this year for what? To gain 4 more wins or 3, whatever it's going to be, but you never get what you really thought you were going to get out of it, which is competing for a Super Bowl. the last thing you want to do is probably reinvest more money in him. So the reason I said don't play him was not because I didn't think he maybe couldn't be the best guy on the roster. I was almost afraid that he would be.
The hard part,
and then
though,
you'd have to give him more money.
I hear that for sure. But I think the hard part is what I think is going to happen is that he's going to showcase himself over the next few months as their best option in camp. And so when you're Todd Monken and you're the owners, how do you sell that to the guys in the locker room that clearly every day we're seeing, and this is just my guess, is that it'll be a smoother operation with him throughout these practices coming up in the next few months than it will be with a couple guys that are year two quarterbacks, that's hard to ignore. And I happen to think, too, let's say he does start for the entire year, which is, I think, a very low percentage, and he plays well. I think you can come to the table, and I don't think the money would have to be crazy, AR, or the years either. Because you got to think, Deshaun's already got all his money, right? And so I guess I'm hoping that if that scenario does come into focus, is that you come to the negotiating table, both the Browns and Deshaun's camp, and you look at a 2-year deal with not crazy money attached to it, which I don't think would be crazy, and I don't think that's a bad thing either. Because if you're a Browns fan, you're hoping that you get a quarterback that's worthy of handing new money to because you haven't had that guy in a long, long time.
The weirdest part about all of this is that when they traded for him, he was a very, very expensive quarterback. And now 40-some-odd million a year is above average. It's not like world-changing at the quarterback position. So you bring up a certain part of this, which is, I guess if he plays well enough and you feel like there is still a future with him, he's only 30, but he's had some severe injuries now. That would worry me. Like, I guess if he got through the year healthy and played well, there'd be enough of a track record to say, okay, maybe we can invest more. But he's only going to get older, and that Achilles, who knows? And I would just be very fearful if the answer isn't, if the question is, can you win a Super Bowl with Deshaun Watson? And the answer has zero hesitation. The answer is yes, because of the team we put around him, and we think, then okay,
What
fine.
if you can be a contender with him at the end of the year? So you're saying, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
He plays well. You're running the show up in Cleveland. You're just saying thanks, goodbye?
That's why I think it's a conundrum in playing him.
But
because he's not really the future.
What would you do, though, in that scenario?
If they make the choice to play him, then they're not going to go against their own. They're going to say, hey, we're playing you because we think you have the chance to have a future.
But what about when you're running the show, though? You're the owner. You're old Jimmy right now.
I probably wouldn't play him.
But if, let's say, in this world where he does play and he plays well, what would you do at the end of the year?
As the owner?
And the GM. You're running the show up in Cleveland. You're letting him hit free agency?
Well, it sounds like they don't have this stress disorder with him. It sounds like Jimmy's all good with it and letting him play this out a little bit. So, no, I would assess it then. The two things I said, how well did he play and how healthy is he? And then if he's willing and I could negotiate at a decent rate for like you said, if nobody else but he might play his way into somebody else wanting him, and they may say, hey, it's good for everybody. You go your way, we'll go ours. The only thing is you've now stunted your future at the position, which you think is Shedeur. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if they think that now based off
That's
of
what I mean. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I just don't think the Browns are in any position to tell any quarterback that plays well for them, hey, thank you,
especially
you go elsewhere. I just don't think they're in that position because they don't have the guy ready in the bullpen ready to go to take over right now.
We'll have Tyvis Powell join us in 2 minutes, and we'll get his answer to that same question. And we'll have to ask him about Garrett on whether he believes that them holding on to Garrett now and not trading him is a good idea. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Family owned and operated. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Here's something you don't hear admitted very often. When you run a business with your family, you don't always get along with them. We argue, we debate, we have real conversations about the decisions that we make. But at Care, every conversation comes back to our priorities, doing right by our employees and our customers. Because when you treat your team like family, they take better care of the families they serve. And when you treat your customers the way you'd want your own family treated, trust follows. That mindset doesn't always maximize short-term profits, but it builds something better, long-term relationships. Today, more and more local companies are being bought by venture capital firms, where maximizing profits often leads to a sales-first mentality. Care is still family-owned and locally operated, so we can keep people, not profits, at the center of every decision. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Hey Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony sometimes likes to sit and stare at his bundle of Emmy Awards. Unfortunately, it's through the glass of the pawn shop. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, he's the baller from Bedford. Our man from T-Bone and Tyvis, the one and only Tyvis Powell. Would you take the chance in stunting the growth of Shedeur Sanders if Deshaun Watson shows that he's the best quarterback on the roster?
I think that if Deshaun Watson shows that he's the best quarterback on that roster, you're going to have to play him. I apologize for the win because I'm headed to the car. But anyways, you would have to play the best. Why? Because it's Todd Monken's first year as a head coach. He's waited 60 years of his life to become a head coach. There's no guarantee that he will be the coach of the Browns next year. You know, the Browns like to switch coaches very fast. With that being said, he has best player that's at the position. Plus, if the team is sitting there and they see that Deshaun's the best quarterback and they don't play him, then they know, like, they're trying to sabotage the season. So you can't fake stuff like that. You got to play the best player at the position.
Wait a minute. First of all, he signed a 5-year contract. He's getting more than a year.
Okay.
I mean, I guess if they go winless, maybe, but I feel like he's getting more than a year.
You know what organization we talking about, right?
Yes, I do, but they give their guys more than a year usually, especially guys they commit 5-year commitments to. But either way, all right. So let me take it to another step then. If Deshaun plays well but not great, you throwing more money at him? You going to keep him?
No. No. If he plays well but not great, then this is it. This is the end of the road for him. I don't see them, which is why, again, I don't believe that he should even be the starting quarterback to begin with. But if he beats Shedeur out, then, I mean, that you have no choice. But, no, this would be a one-year thing. Unless he goes out there, I'm talking he throws 4,000 yards and he looked like a glimpse of 2020. Now, they said they open to extending him if he does that. But, nobody thinks that's likely.
I don't even think the productivity needs to be that high. I really don't. I feel like I'm on an island with this, T, that if he flashes to them 3,500 yards with a pretty good touchdown to interception ratio, I think they're going to see. I think they have to have serious conversations about running it back with him.
I mean, honestly, at that point, it depends on where are they in the draft. Because Deshaun Watson's best season resulted in 4-12, which still have you picking in the top 5. So if you get that type of production and still pick there, that's a tough conversation because now you can get one of these top quarterbacks if you do have a top 5 pick. So the final record would play a part in what they would do.
Do all these guys in the quarterback room right now fit into Monken's offense pretty seamlessly, or is there a guy in your mind that is a better fit for what Monken's going to want to do?
It's interesting because I don't know what type of offense he's going to want to run. You don't have Lamar Jackson, so you can't run Lamar Jackson's type offense, you know? So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do. I think it'll be more like what we've seen from him at Georgia, with Stetson Bennett. I think that's more style of offense that you got when you look at the quarterback and the personnel that you got at the Browns. And to me, if that's the case, I think any three of those guys can run that offense. But the one good thing about Tom Monken is that he's not strapped to one scheme. He's kind of like a Matt Patricia on offense. He can make the scheme fit his player and his quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see, if the playbook looks different for Shador and for Deshaun and for Dylan Gabriel. But that's what's supposed to make him so unique.
Where were you on I can't remember which side you were on about Myles Garrett and potentially dangling him out for trade to get things fixed in Cleveland? Were you a part of the trade Myles to get things fixed, or you can't trade him?
Depending on what the trade is. You talking about 3 first-round picks. He up out of here if I'm in charge. He gone.
What about something maybe realistic but not that big? Couple first-rounders.
Couple first-rounders and what?
A player.
It better be a darn good. Nah, I'm cool.
Let me ask you this: What if the Jacksonville Jaguars called you and said, "Andrew Berry, let's do business again. 2 1s and Brian Thomas Jr."
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have a first this year. So you telling me first next year?
Yep.
And then the year after that?
And Brian Thomas Jr. to help out that wide receiver room.
Yeah, there's the player.
That's interesting. We had to sit down and really. I gotta sit back and think about that. That one. I had to sit back and had to contemplate that one. I mean, Myles Garrett is not getting any younger, and as great and productive as he is, and he's a freak of nature. I seen on the podcast with Michael Parsons, he said like his light ain't even dimming to him. So, you're getting that type of productivity, but at some point it's going to fall off a cliff, rather sooner than later, right? And Brian Thomas is year 2, going on year 3 in his NFL career. He's a very productive guy. 2 1s, man. You get 2 first-round picks for next year, 2 this year, 2 next. If you do it right, if Andrew Berry is as good as he was last year in the picks, it really wouldn't be that bad.
All right.
That 6th pick this year is very interesting because now this year is big on edge rushers. So now do you go edge rusher at 6? Like, it would open up a lot of possibilities.
You think that this is an owner thing? You think do you think Andrew Berry and Haslam are in lockstep on keeping Myles Garrett?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I believe so for sure. I don't think they're going to trade Myles at all. I really don't. I think that they've made their stance there. It's just hard to believe and trust them because of stuff, past things that they did. But with this one, I kind of trust and believe that they're not going to trade Myles because there's just no reason to. You're almost at the end of the Deshaun Watson thing. You got this year to get through. You might as well just go ahead and ride it out. And Myles is going to be good this year, probably the next year after that. So at this point, you've already got through the worst of the Deshaun. If you were going to trade Myles, that should have been something that happened like 2 years ago.
When did Shador decide that he was going to go to number 2 and get rid of 12?
That's interesting because last year, obviously he came in the league and he wanted number 2. Now, DeAndre Carter was a friend of mine. I played with DeAndre Carter with Houston. So I talked to him when I went up to OTAs and I was like, what's the story behind the 2 and the 12? He was like, I offered it to him. He was like, obviously, you know how we do in the league. You give me a couple $, you can have it. And Shador kind of was like, nah, you can keep it. You know what I'm saying? I'll just rock this 12. And he said he didn't ask for nothing crazy either. Like, it ain't like the Devontae Adams story where the guy wanted $1 million for the number, So he said it was just for a couple $, and Shador was kind of like, nah, I'm cool. So it was funny watching him, once DeAndre Carter obviously got released and whatnot. It was funny seeing him switch. But the number it matters to athletes. Me being a former guy, I understand. If I put that 23 on my back, it just do something to you. It just make you feel like you in your prime and your best. So to me, it was inevitable that he was always going to go back to 2 whenever it got available.
Where does that leave my boy Matty here, who's probably still rocking his 12 from last year? Where does that leave him? Now he's got to buy another jersey?
He's got to buy another jersey or he got to rip the 1 off.
Yeah, because he loves him some Shador Sanders, and he bought the 12 and now in orange and fudge, and now he should be able to trade that in.
Listen,
trade up, trade in.
one thing, Matty got money. You know what I'm saying? Matty got.
That's true.
He got one of these top midday shows. He got sponsors. He got dealership sponsors and whatnot. Matty not only can he afford to buy the 2 jersey, he might as well get him a Rolex too.
Yeah, well, he does get a lot of deliveries here at the station. He does do that.
Man. Hey, T, I want to run this crazy theory by you when it comes to the Myles Garrett thing. If the Browns had a franchise quarterback, a name on the marquee, a guy that they know is going to put butts in seats, do you believe that they would then trade Myles Garrett? Because I think that's part of this, too, is that ownership scared that if we trade 95, who's really coming to the stadium consistently because we don't have a guy under center right now. Where are you at with my crazy theory right there?
If they had a franchise quarterback, yeah, then you would probably dangle that Myles Garrett carrot a little bit more because I keep telling everybody, as important as the edge rusher is not the end-all and be-all anymore. You know, you used to think one of the most important positions was make sure you got an edge rusher. You see all the top edge rushers was sitting at home during the playoffs last year. So, to me, the edge rusher isn't the starting piece. It's the final piece when you're trying to compete for a Super Bowl. So, if somebody's out there willing to give you 2 firsts for your guy, you absolutely take it. You see the Raiders was willing to do it with Baltimore until all the failed physical stuff happened because they realized that edge rusher might not be as a pivotal piece as you think as to start when you're trying to build your team to get to the Super Bowl. So if they had the franchise guy, I think that opens up the possibility for anything. But if you got a franchise quarterback and you got a game record like Myles, you should be fine. You should be able to compete for Super Bowls with that roster.
Here's why I would trade him, Myles Garrett. Because of a little bit what you said, he's not getting any younger. He may be the best defensive player in the league. That's fine. But if I own the team and I know I'm opening a brand new stadium in 3 years, that's what I care about. Because I don't care. Cleveland's top 5 in attendance every year anyway. Like people come out to see the Cleveland Browns when they're bad. Imagine when they're going to come out to a new stadium in Brook Park. And if I can get this thing in 3 years when Myles is 33, 34, but I can fix that now and be ready in 2030 to roll out a much better Browns team in my brand new stadium. That's where my thought process would be as an owner.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you because I keep telling everybody that they are focused on making sure that their stadium is packed in 2030 or 2029 whenever it opens. But again, you know, you gotta at least. I would entertain it. I'm not like Matty where it's just like it's a done deal. I ain't trading Myles Garrett. No, I would definitely entertain it for sure because of the simple fact that I'm trying to build my team for the future. And Myles is getting towards the end. Like he's not going to be the DPOY every year. It's coming to an end.
Real quick though, I actually think they should trade him right now. That's where I'm at.
Oh,
I think they should.
I thought you should. Never mind. Then we all okay. Who said if the offer's right? You give me 3-1. You give me 3-1. Gone.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be the tough part. All right, my man. Great to talk to you as always. Safe travel.
See y'all later. Go Bucks. Go Browns. Go Guards. Free Clase till it's backwards. Take Ortiz and Clippers tonight.
There we go.
Well done.
There we go.
See you, bud. All right, we're going to come back. Speaking of jerseys and numbers, there is a former Buckeye that would prefer his not to be worn anymore. Tell you that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
This 1 week of practice. So imagine what a full offseason look like.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY. And when he needs metal, he goes to metal supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on metal supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cut to any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hey there, friends. High Bank isn't just award-winning whiskey. They also make the best vodka in America. With 3 Central Ohio locations serving scratch-made food and craft cocktails, High Bank is perfect for date night, game day, or drinks with friends. Learn more at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. I love my Kubota tractor, RTV, and zero-turn I got from Green & Sons, and you can check them out online at greenandsons.com or visit them in store in Mount Sterling or north of Marysville in Raymond for all your Kubota needs.
You got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
Tomorrow, some of us will wake up and it will be our last day on this earth. It will be unexpected and without warning. Each year, 250,000 people will die from medical malpractice, the third leading cause of death in America. 43,000 will die in a car or truck crash. 6,000 will die working on the job. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and we represent many of these families. It's awful. Unfortunately, many times some of these family members are not speaking and never get to say, I'm sorry or goodbye. If you're at odds with a loved one, listen closely. Pick up the phone. Call them. Say you're sorry. I promise a huge burden will be lifted from your heart and your soul will be renewed. Even if you're not wrong in your own mind, it doesn't matter. Death is bad enough. Death without closure and love will follow you the rest of your days. Trust me on this. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial # law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Take your shot to save at Great Lakes Hyundai. Shoot the hoop to get extra savings on your new car purchase. On top of big shot savings like 0% financing on 26 Hyundai Santa Fe's and Tucson's for up to 5 years. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. It's the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With first credit, some customers may not qualify. Interest to cruise during no payment period. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's Best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Offer ends 3/31.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here. You know, there was a time if you handed me a bread basket at dinner, it was like feeding a gator. You might lose a finger. Bread, pasta, pizza, man, carbs were undefeated in my life. That is, until Awaken 180 weight loss came in and flipped the script. Look, I've run the gauntlet of diets, and each time, carbs won by knockout. But Awaken 180 isn't a diet. It's a whole new playbook for changed up lifestyle. We all know it's necessary to lose that weight, but this is to keep it off. That constant carb craving, the one we all shrug off as normal, gone. Sure, I still love my pizza. But here's the difference. Now I don't need it. So now, most times when that waiter hustles over with a basket of temptation, I just grin, give a little nod, and wave it away like I'm passing on a Forest and Long. Because I'm in control now. Awaken 180 isn't just a game changer, it's a life changer. Trust me. Call them at 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. Your future self will thank you.
Think you know Buckeye football? These two say, hold my beer. The Beat with Austin and Berm.
Sponsored by the Waterworks.
Daily on the Fan's YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Like trying to snap a picture of Bigfoot. Nobody has ever witnessed Maddie eating a carb. This is Rothman and Ice.
So yesterday we spoke a little bit about Devin Royal hitting the portal. And we discussed the fit or lack thereof and a little bit about that journey because, as I mentioned yesterday, not that many years ago, you knew who you had. You just knew. Like, there could be a player that got really disgruntled that wanted to transfer, but then they had to sit out a year or whatever. Like, there was a lot more involved. And it wasn't this musical chairs and revolving door of college sports where momentum, and we talked about that. I mentioned to you guys that while this program did take a step, I don't know if it has momentum. I really don't. You hope that it does based on making the tournament, ending the drought, getting some alum back excited. You had a week of hype. You had a game go down to the wire. Yeah. So you got a taste of the big dance again. It wasn't a big taste. You took a little nibble. And hopefully that does get people motivated. And that's where momentum comes from, is motivation. That's what I mean by momentum now. Momentum in 2026 is motivation. It's not like, oh, we got this big core coming back and we got these recruits coming and we know exactly. Now, they do have a big recruit coming. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying they don't know anything about their team, because they do. They have Mobley. They have Bynum, who took a massive leap this year. And if that guy develops a post move, then who knows? Sky's the limit for him. And I think that's where they're leaning. And so from Devin's standpoint, though, Maddie, it was like, all right, listen, Bruce was the guy. He was our guy. He's gone now. I've been in this program. Invest in me. I've put in the work. I'm here. Well, when you're asking for a lot, or what I would think would be a decent amount, now everything comes under the microscope. Not just that you've been here 3 years, not just that you're a senior. That's not entitlement. You're entitled to what they think your value is, not what you think your value is. And because technically you are still, let me put a bad word on this, employee. You're like, because they have, now, if he said he wanted to stay for a nominal fee, they wouldn't have kicked him out. They wouldn't even want to. They'd be awesome. Wait a minute, you're a value guy now. So I think they had to weigh whether his value was worth the fit. And it feels like they both came to the conclusion that, okay, I can get more elsewhere, maybe become the guy, and maybe, because if his dream is to get to the NBA, he's going to have to work real hard at and to make it. And so I started thinking that Ohio State probably, that this is going to work out for them. But it only works out for them if they replace what they need, which is another big man and a veteran point guard.
They need a lot. That's just the reality through my lens is where this team looks to be headed right now. They got a lot of work to do this offseason to get right now talent in the building. You mentioned Thompson, the freshman coming in. I think he has a chance to be a really special player here at Ohio State. But outside of the two guys that you mentioned, there aren't a lot of solidified in the minds of Buckeye fans, guys that they know for sure are going to be out there as consistent ballers for them. So the interest level in the program coming from guys in the portal, that's going to be interesting to see for sure. But also, too, I just think with a lot of the productivity going out of the building in the form of Devin Royal and Bruce Thornton, the development of the two guys that you touched on is going to be big, huge, right? They have to have that, especially the Bynum aspect of it. I think at this point in time, we know what Mobley is, and that's a really good player. And I think he still has a chance to get better, and that's the scary part about his game. But a thorn in their side this year was depth. They just didn't have it consistently, whether it was injuries or when guys got their opportunities, they weren't showing Coach Diebler and the staff that, hey, you can rely on me when my number is called. The roster turnover is always going to be a tough thing to overcome, whether we're talking football, basketball, no matter what sport it is, because of the portal. But I think this is going to be a huge offseason for Diebler and his staff to get things in order quickly, because you can think what you want about Devin Royal. He was a guy that obviously helped them, right? And he was a guy that I think raised their ceiling in certain spots throughout the year, and that guy is now gone with the all-time leading scorer. And so I'm right now a little pessimistic about what we're going to see. It's a massive question mark because we don't have a track record right now of looking at the Buckeye basketball program and for sure knowing that they're going to either crush it in the portal or they're going to crush it in player development year after year. That's a massive question mark right now. So it's a huge wait-and-see mode for me right now with where this thing's headed.
I think we're all there. I think now that the dust is settled on the NCAA tournament, and as you say, you lose Bruce, the Royals situation is a tough one for me because only he would know whether he can truly lead. I don't know. Yeah. We saw glimpses of it this year, and then it was inconsistent. So I'm sure they're asking themselves over there, all right, do we invest in him as a leader? Is that going to pay off? I'm with you on he had some very good games. And when he was playing well, he was a big part of what they wanted to be. But I think they're taking the money they probably would have invested in him, and they're going to go shopping again. And whether that, and obviously give some to Mobley and Bynum. Like those, by the way, that's because you got to spread it around. This isn't an endless pile of money that Jake has to work with probably. So even though it's gotten a little better, and I think he's admitted it's gotten better, I don't think he's just given a company line. I think it probably has gotten better. How much better? Like, honestly, that is the follow-up to Jake. Like when he said last week, like, yeah, it's just gotten better. Like, how much better? Like, how much better? Is it
exactly?
And now, if he wanted to ask me that, well, what do you mean by that? I would say, if you were swinging for Tier 2 portal guys, can you now swing in Tier 1? That's it. And when I say Tier 1 and Tier 2, that's only to the eyes of the scouts.
Yeah.
But they have them and they know. So I just think when they look back at this year to count on Devin Royal, Virginia game no good, Michigan State game no good. Like, there were times where they felt like they probably had to count on him, and they didn't.
I don't want to make it seem like he was just a blah player.
No, I'm not doing it as a body of work. I'm just saying at moments when they felt they really had to have him.
I hear that. But he was your number 3 option this year. And without him, team's not going to the tournament, in my opinion. And so, to me, 2/3 of your offense are gone. And so we could talk about the inconsistency, which is fair. There's no doubt it's fair. But for me, losing him right now is a big deal in my mind.
If Bynum takes that above-the-rim leap that he already has and develops more inside, then I think they're going places. And they add around it, and we shall see. We come back top of the hour. We'll take a sports update here for you. And then the Steelers ambassador. It used to be TLC. Instead, it's this guy. He's got more to say. We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Sex, intimacy, love. These 3 things are critical to a good relationship, and that's the problem with erectile dysfunction. It often destroys sexual enjoyment and intimacy. It stresses the love between partners, often to the breaking point. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're suffering with ED, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want you to know that ED doesn't have to impact your relationship anymore. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're ED experts, with our focus on men's sexual health. We've treated tens of thousands of men and have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. I promise you, if you're like most guys, you can get your sex life back, perhaps even performing like you haven't in years. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to better sex, better intimacy, and deeper love. Call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Spring is right around the corner, and we bet you're excited for warmer weather. But as the temperatures rise, make sure your energy bills don't. Keep those cooling costs low with Window Nation's high-quality, energy-efficient products. Simply request a consultation where their experts will visit your home, spot problem areas, and make recommendations. Your customized windows can be installed in a day. Once completed, your home will be shielded from outside hot air while you remain cool and comfortable inside throughout the spring and summer. With Window Nation, your house won't just look great, but you'll also have peace of mind. All of Window Nation's products are backed by a lifetime warranty. In fact, there's no better time to upgrade your home with Window Nation than right now. In March, the more you buy, the more savings you could enjoy. Up to 50% off all window styles. And be sure to ask about Window Nation's generous financing options, including $0 down, 0% interest for 60 months, and payments as little as $199 a month. Visit windownation.com today to schedule your free consultation.
Once again, that's windownation.com.
Spring is hatching at the Columbus Zoo. Join us April 3rd and 4th for Eggs, Paws, and Claws. Snap a pic with the Easter Bunny, meet Egbert, roll into Shelley's Shellebration, and crack the clues in the Eggsplore and find. It's 2 extra fun days you won't want to miss. Get your discounted tickets at Kroger.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Get your day started with T-Bone and Tyvis weekday mornings from 6 to 9 here on The Fan. You think that a radio lifer and a national title winner wouldn't have much in common, but you'd be wrong. They're both girthy, they both love football, and they both get racially profiled for completely different reasons. It's like driving to work with your friends, except these friends give away tickets to things and talk to all the important people in town. Your actual friends are probably a bunch of losers. Well, anyway, listen to T-Bone and Tyvis live on The Fan app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
It's Timmy Hall here with Gordon Miller, founder of Miller Lending. Now, Gordon, I remember hearing of your no-cost mortgages back in 2008 when I was on the air in Raleigh-Durham. So what brings you to Central Ohio?
Hey, Tim. Small world, isn't it? But we saw Columbus as the perfect market to offer our no-closing cost mortgage product. With a growing population and relocations, it was similar to our original decision to expand into Raleigh back in '96.
Well, I got to see firsthand how well it worked in Carolina. So how about explaining to our listeners how it truly has no closing cost associated?
That's right, Tim. Way back in 1987, I found a way to do mortgages without using the standard method of buying the rate down with thousands of dollars in various costs. Rates were volatile, much like they are today. And folks were stuck at higher rates because it simply cost too much to refinance. There had to be a better way, and we think we found it.
That was Gordon Miller, founder of Miller Lending, the home of the no-cost loan. Give him a call, 877-9-NO-COST, or online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 2502146.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Blue Jackets host the Hurricanes tonight at 7:30. Earlier today, head coach Rick Bowness said Matthew Olivier is week to week with an upper body injury suffered in Sunday's loss to Boston. Columbus called up center Luca Del Bel Belus from Cleveland Monday. NBA, the Cavs visit LeBron James and the Lakers at 10:30 in what could be the 41-year-old James' final game against his former team. MLB, Reds host the Pirates at 6:40. Pittsburgh's Bubba Chandler battles Cincinnati's Brandon Williamson, who returns from Tommy John surgery. Guardians visit the Dodgers at 10:10. Cleveland's Tanner Bybee to face 4-time MVP Shohei Ohtani for LA in his season pitching debut on the Hill. This update sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Matty promises he'll continue to do the show even if he wins the lottery. If only we believed him. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program. Jordan Deshaun, our friend from CBS Sports, covering the NFL at 1:30. All right, so I remember this from early 2025. That Big Ben Roethlisberger was kind of ripping his former squad for failing to evolve. Like, he felt like the Steelers were stubborn and they had an outdated philosophy and lack of offensive identity for sure.
Are you going to take a page out of Big Ben's book when we hang your jersey up in the rafters years from now and you're listening and he's tweeting out TLC? I mean, I don't know what the heck's happening over there at the Fan. When I was there, the standard was just so much higher.
So deep. Fan is so deep. Oh, what a mess the Fan is.
That's what you're going to be saying.
That's good timing.
Years from now, that's what you're going to be saying, AR. What a mess it is since I left.
Oh, what a mess the Fan is. Big Ben expressed some concerns over a lack of creative scheming. I won't be tweeting that to you guys.
Twitter.
True.
Okay.
And so I feel like today hit me differently because I remember saying to you guys, I thought he was kind of like the tough love guy. Like, I think we like our former players to have tough love because they can always disclaim it with nobody, you know this phrase, nobody wants them to win more than I do.
Let me ask you this, AR. Is tough love just an excuse to be mean to somebody?
No.
Is that like, put that label on it first. I'm going to hit you with some tough love, and now here comes the uppercut to the chin.
No, well, it can be. I'm not saying in every instance it's not, but I think I think the meaning of it, or the intention of it rather, is to be honest. It is. The truth can hurt. We all know that.
Because I happen to think that there's people that throw a kind of cover of, hey, I'm going to hit you with some honesty just to get a takeoff that could be a little spicy or hurt somebody's feelings.
You're describing high school coaches.
I think that's an excuse sometimes, not all the time, but I do think some people say, I'm just going to hit you with honesty here when a lot of times that's usually somebody's just opinion of the situation.
I think people say that because they don't want you to take it to be personally offended. They're saying it because they think it's the truth, and they do think that in the long run, it actually may help to get this information. I think that's the intention of it.
I think some people that are that way, but I think some people can use it as an easy out to be a you-know-what.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure that's happened. The one that I don't like is nobody wants them to win more than I do. Really? I've met some people that are who have thrown a brick through their TV and done some weird things.
All those are staged, by the way. Fully convinced. The jumping into the TV, the ripping the TV off the wall, they're all fake to me. That, hey, I'm going to do this. Let's go viral. That's what I think.
Who's paying for their new TV?
Probably themselves. You get plenty of deals out here now.
Maybe they're going to get rid of it anyway. I mean, TVs are now disposable in a weird way.
They really are.
You got to pay people to take them away.
And why are you jumping into your TV?
I've never seen that one. I've seen what do you mean jumping into it?
I've seen some dude just run into his TV. Out of anger.
Okay.
Just wanted to run through the wall. He was so mad his team didn't do something that he liked. I just think all these are on video, you know?
Yeah,
I just like to poke holes at a lot of this stuff. I just think those are set up. No, I don't think they're authentic.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of stuff that's, I think you've hit on something that most things we see online now can be fake and probably are.
No doubt.
So back over a year ago, he was ripping them on their unwillingness to evolve. And so when I said to you guys, wait a minute, is this the same Ben Roethlisberger now, like touting his team as like the best? And they were entering a pretty important offseason. They had a lot of salary cap space. And he kind of made a point that, and he's right, because he's the quarterback. You know, you have one receiver, you got a really good tight end, you got a couple of running backs that are by committee, you got a bunch of young linemen. Like, he wasn't describing them inaccurately. The Steelers' offense is not really built for anything. We think it's built for rough, tough, bad weather, short yardage, play action, like really making people defend. And he was kind of a part of the home run ball era. Like, been through a lot of home runs.
They could hit you with both.
Yeah.
They can get downhill, run through your face
he loved
mask.
throwing deep.
Oh, my, he had an absolute cannon of an arm. Like, the dude had a legit arm for sure, and it was terrifying to deal with because they did have the ability to make you feel like, hey, we should probably stack the box because their run game is potent. But whether it's Mike Wallace, whether it's AB, whether it's Emmanuel Sanders, whether, you know, the wide receivers that he was really cooking with that were big-time playmakers, it was a terrifying offense to deal with. And Big Ben was hard to get to the ground, man. Like, so many games you'd watch and be like, the defender got there, and he just shrugs him off and executes the play. He was a dude, for sure, as we know.
Which is weird for him to say now, 12 months later, that he loves them in this division.
AFC North. Who do you see being the first team to get a Super Bowl?
It depends on who's playing quarterback for the Steelers, but I would still lean towards. I honestly, I think like I probably would have said Baltimore because, you know, I think that they've got a you know, what they have going on there in Lamar and that. But here's what I'm going to say. I think that their window's closed. Like, I don't think they're, I should say it's closing.
Yeah.
Closing. Okay.
Closing.
Obviously Cleveland isn't even in the like, we don't have to ask that one.
We got, okay.
No. And Cincinnati, obviously I like what Joe does. Their offense is really good, but they're just like like, they don't care about their defense and they don't care about anything there. So, and the reason I'm giving this whole breakdown is because I feel like if I would have just said Pittsburgh, people would be like, oh, that's just your
no, that's just Homer.
So I'm breaking it down. And so that's why I would say Pittsburgh, even breaking it all down, I would say Pittsburgh.
I was praying he was going to go full Herb Brooks. I am sick and tired of hearing about what a great football team the Baltimore Ravens are. Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it. Like, I feel like at least I hadn't heard that. Because when you guys first told me pick the Steelers to win the North again, or they had the best chance to win the Super Bowl of any team in the North, which is so much even exponentially higher. I was like, wait a minute, that's so wrong. The Ravens are still that team. But now you think about it, like how old they are defensively and their lack of depth offensively. And I know they have a quarterback that can change everything, but I mean, they might be able. They have some. I think Mitchell hired some really good coordinators. I would not be. I wouldn't pick the Steelers first or second. I'm still going with Cincinnati, even though their defense. I got to see it, but to win it, because he said it was very important. This wasn't to win the North again. This was to win the Super Bowl. And not knowing who's going to quarterback the Steelers.
That's where he loses me.
Of course.
That's where he loses me, because you look at both sides of the ball, and there's guys you can believe in. And while some of their key pieces on defense are older, and T.J. Watt and Hayward and those guys.
That's right.
I think they have a decent core even around those guys. But when you don't have the guy under center, it's hard for me to look at you as a team that, one, can do much of anything in the playoffs right now. And that's kind of played out over the last couple of seasons to where they've been a solid unit as a team, but then they get to the postseason and there's really nothing there as far as a high ceiling when you're looking at some of these other teams. Yeah, if we were doing a futures draft right now as far as the teams that are closest to winning the Super Bowl, I would have them third in the division. That's where I would have Pittsburgh right now, because when I look at Joey B, when I look at Lamar, if you do a halfway decent job as a franchise of putting talent around them and have a average unit on defense and even an average unit on offense, those guys I think can raise the floor and the ceiling of a franchise because of how good they are right now and how good I think they can be over the next few years.
I think the weirdest part for all of us is that the Bengals are the only team that didn't fire their head coach or didn't depart from their head coach. Like, I mean, they missed the playoffs for a third straight year, and he's the one that's left standing. It's but a lot of that is on, Joe Burrow's lack of health and consistency, and it might also be that the owner doesn't want to pay for a new coach, and
I think it's
and all that.
I think there's a lot there.
Maybe he likes Zach, and I've asked the question to guys in Cincinnati, like, what does Joe think of Zach? He's like, Joe really likes him. Like, Joe's a big fan of him, and that helps a lot. So that's it. I mean, it comes down to them for a healthy Joe Burrow and the offense. Their best defense is a great offense, and if they can get the defense, as you and I have said, even average, they've really got a chance. But it was so weird to hear Ben go from 12 months ago saying, we are an ancient offense. We've got no identity. And all of a sudden now, and then also to add 12 months later, I still don't know who the quarterback's going to be yet. If I had to pick one team in the North that's got the capability of winning the Super Bowl, it's the Steelers.
But I'm not a homer. It's not a homer take.
I almost feel like he's trying to maybe inch his way back a little bit from that take from 13 months ago.
Maybe so. I think there is something there with stylistically how it looked for the offense last year. It wasn't great. It wasn't the sexiest offense.
But give them credit. They won the division.
To watch, and they still found a way.
Exactly.
And that's going to be the curious part about the years moving forward is that safe floor that was there with Mike Tomlin. Will now Big Mike McCarthy come in and be able to provide that and then some? Because that's what they're hoping for, obviously, is to push beyond the limits that they've set over the last couple of years.
I'm still in the camp of it would be okay to take a step back.
Oh, I think they need to bottom
take
out.
2 steps forward. Bottoming out
right now.
I don't think that organization will ever truly want to bottom out.
They don't want to do it. I get that, but that's what they need to do, in my opinion. This is the time
to see if you have something else at quarterback. This isn't the time to run it back with Aaron Rodgers. It's not.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know, but it's really not.
I agree with you.
It makes a coach feel warm and cozy to have an experienced guy and a veteran guy that he knows that we're never going to be too bad with him. But I think if you just hire a new coach, it's like that's why I was arguing with Tyvis over. Like, Munkin's not going to be Freddie Kitchens. They're not firing him after 1 year. They're just not. Now, I'll eat my words if he wins one game, but
it's a low percentage on that for me. It's happened every once in a while. It's not a popular trend around the league. Guys getting fired after 1 year.
They do it more than most, to his point, but it's especially in that division. All right, we're going to come back. We'll stay with your Ravens because your president says there's nothing to see here. We'll give you those details next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If my aunt had male parts, she'd be my uncle.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Remember your first football game? The sound of the crowd, the smell of the grill, the moment you fell in love with the game. This spring break, pass that moment on. At the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, families walk through the greatest moments in football history and create new memories of their own. See the legends, experience the history, share the game you love. Make the Hall of Fame part of your spring break road trip. Plan your visit today at ProFootballHof.com.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Had a few repairs to your furnace or air conditioner this year, and now your system is acting up again? Stop patching problems and start enjoying worry-free comfort with Logan Services. We'll repair your system fast, or if it's time, replace it with a brand new one. And if you've had repair work done in the past year, no matter who did it, we'll pay you back up to $3,000 when you choose replacement. We're making home comfort easy. Logan Services.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here. You know High Bank for their award-winning spirits, but the food deserves just as much love. Enjoy happy hour with friends, brunch with family, and dinner that never misses. Make your reservation today at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Common Man here for Jermaine. Everybody's talking about affordability when buying a car these days, but the truth is, GoJermaine.com has a great selection of affordable inventory. Maybe that tax return's going to hit your mailbox pretty soon. Well, go see my friends because they have 300 new cars under 30 grand, over 300 used cars under 20 grand, and it's only at GoJermaine.com. And along with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Get started at GoJermaine.com.
When you are a member of Tel-Ohio, your money works harder for you. Lock in 4% APY on a 24-month CD and watch your savings grow with a credit union built for its members. Visit telohio.org to learn more.
Federally insured by NCUA. Membership open to anyone in Ohio. Restrictions apply.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. The Jackets are making a push to the playoffs.
Islanders and Adam Fantilli, one more time, puts it in the net.
Listen to every exciting moment, including an extended pregame show for weekend games. Proud to be your home of the Jackets. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see partly cloudy skies here for today with highs around 80 degrees. It will also be fairly windy with winds gusting up to near 40 miles per hour here this afternoon. And then for tonight, we'll see showers and storms moving in after midnight with lows down to 63. And then for tomorrow, more scattered showers in the morning and into the afternoon with highs in the 60s. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvis weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, the Fan. The best teams don't always win titles. Sounds like AR and Maddie bragging about their fantasy teams.
Hey, that's cheating.
This is Rothman and Ice.
Fantasy Pickup live on the air. Oh, we're already knee-deep in the baseball, so fantasy gods are real. They are. Got to respect them.
And you think that GM should think like you? And us
I
as
feel
fantasy.
like this is part of how GMs think. I think this way in fantasy. I imagine in reality it works somewhat similar.
One of the realest things you've ever said, big dog.
I meant it. All right, so Sashi Brown. Haven't heard that name. Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's a name I haven't heard for a long time. Sashi Brown.
Star Wars.
Well done.
Thank you.
Which one?
I'm hoping, I'm hoping that he would recognize Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I know that was kind of a gimme, and then, Ice asked the tough question at the presser, which one?
Let me ask you this, TLC.
True. So I was kind of...
Please tell me you're not a guy that counts them in the wrong order.
Well, you know how old I am, so you know how it works for me.
I guess so. I don't like that.
I've never really gotten caught up in the whole
prequel
order
sequel
thing. What do you believe is the proper way to go about watching all of them?
You watch the one that came out first.
Pretty simple, huh?
They had the original trilogy, and then they came out with the second trilogy, but they kind of cited it as like that's the prequel. So it's like once the second trilogy came out, then the order in which they were released were 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
Maddie, they call episode 1 the one that came out like 20 years after the first one.
Yeah, the math's not mathing for me on that.
Because it was the way that the storyline went. They were just trying to find another way to make money.
I can't watch any of the old Star Wars movies.
What?
Visually, it's not appealing to me. You know where I'm at with old movies.
Oh, I think this is in the late 70s. Did a pretty damn good job still.
For the late 70s. Jaws was pretty good for its time. Jaws would look it does look terrible now.
So to my eye, when I go back and watch movies like that,
Jaws
I can't
is
enjoy
corny.
Really?
I haven't seen the full thing, but I've seen enough. I've seen enough clips
I didn't
of it.
see the ending, but it looks corny to me.
I've seen enough clips.
You
to
don't
be
think
like,
those shark attacks look real?
Not now. You and I,
Kinter boy.
I was
the
born
women in the beginning.
I was born in 1999. I have a pretty high bar for what looks real and what looks fake.
That's fair.
All right.
You didn't have any anxiety or suspense watching Jaws.
He's talking about the visual aspect of it, like the graphics and all of that, just aren't very...
The music's pretty good.
It's not easy to watch now that your eyes are trained.
The only thing that can fool me is apparently videos of Tupac and Biggie cutting promos in wrestling rings against each other. Other than that, I'm pretty good at deciphering what's real and what's fake.
All right.
Oh, have you watched all of the Star Wars? Have you seen them all?
I've definitely seen all of the original 6, which Rothman would probably say it's the original 3 and then 3 more. I've definitely seen those. And then when I was in high school, they started coming out with more. And then it kind of got difficult to keep track of. I've definitely seen a couple of the really new ones.
So you haven't seen them all?
No,
okay. I got you.
Not all 12, but I've probably seen 9 or 10 of them.
Of the movies that that he wants you to watch, have you chipped away at the list at all? Have you watched? Okay,
no.
Do we still have the list?
We still have the list.
Okay, all right. That's all.
We can review the list.
My original point was that
Rothman's mystery movies. Here's what we got.
All right.
So from Rothman, we have Die Hard, Scarface, and The Town.
Bangers.
I gave you a couple. I threw a little more recent one in there with The Town. Yeah.
My dad's been telling me to watch Bull Durham for about 9 years. Still haven't got around to it. From Fish, we have Office Space. From Ice, we have Gone Girl, Training Day, and Coming to America.
Put the Fridays on there. All 3 of them.
All right.
The Friday movie series.
Friday movie
you gotta
series.
Watch those.
Ice. And from Bobby, who will be joining us at 2 o'clock today, maybe we can add to his portion of the list. He gave me Wolf of Wall Street, Superbad, and The Departed.
Okay.
So we all gave you our own trilogy, like our own 3?
Basically.
Okay. Because I may want to change my 3.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I may want to change my 3 now that if we only get 3.
No, you can add to it. It's a never-ending list.
Okay.
It's kind of like our home run draft.
Story.
I'm scoreless.
That's right. my point on the whole Star Wars thing was that the first one is the first one. I don't want to hear episode 4. That's all. That's it.
That's how it was in my childhood.
All right, so
episode 4 to me.
Sashi Brown. It's a name I haven't heard for a very long time. He was the executive president of the Cleveland Browns 2013 to 2017 and the general manager from 2016 and 2017. Then he went where? To the Washington Wizards.
That's right.
And just said,
that is
you know what, football, it's been nice.
So he's like Paul DePodesta.
Yeah,
this
that's
thing?
right.
Colorado Rockies, right?
Chief Planning and Operations Officer. Amazing.
How long was he with the Wizards? You have that in front of you?
2019 to 2022.
A few years. Okay.
And then back to your Ravens in 2022. He's peddling this story that the Max Crosby trade fall through is like no big deal. These things happen. Like, what is his exact quote? Do we have sound with him?
We sure do.
Let's hear it.
One, I think, is a slow news cycle. I don't want to at all downplay the experience that Max had coming, that we all had. The Raiders, Ravens, Max, our locker room. As Eric said, we were incredibly excited and just as equally, if not more, disappointed that we weren't able to pull off that transaction and bring Max to Baltimore. I'm not going to go too much deeper into that. To answer your specific question, we've got strong, long relationships across the league. We have emphasized the importance of doing things the right way. We'll continue to do that. And we understand that it is a headline story because of its profile and significance. We believe, our relationships, to the extent that you need time to repair them, people understand who we are and what we're about. Our locker room understands that as well. But when you have high-profile transactions like this and opportunities like this, it's unfortunate, but sometimes these things do happen. No fault of Max's, certainly, or ours, or the Raiders.
You know what I found out about this whole situation? Is that the only reason why people really cared is because it involved a star player in the league. And I feel like I've been proven right over the last 24 hours. Because the Browns did the exact same thing. The exact same thing. With A.J. Epinesa. Brought him in. Didn't pass his physical, and they said, you know what? We're good. And that story is nowhere on TV.
Well, there's one difference with that, though. Is that there was the period of time where people, with the free agency, that people think that the Ravens may have manipulated the Raiders into screwing with their cap space. Or basically like buying themselves time where it's like, oh, we can just make whatever trade we want to, and we don't even have to honor it if we don't want to, and then we can monkey around with the physical.
Yeah, but here's the deal. I don't think, first of all, let me answer Maddie's comment first. Let me comment on that. Inherently, a blockbuster is always going to make headlines, just like a famous death makes headlines.
No question. I guess my point is the amount of venom that came towards the Ravens. There's none of that coming towards the Browns. And they did the same thing.
I don't know if anybody knows.
They brought in a player that they wanted to sign because clearly the Ravens wanted him. They gave up 2 first-round picks. They clearly wanted Max. The doctor said, this isn't good for us. We need to bail. And everybody was looking at the Ravens as the worst villain in the history of the league. And nobody's ever going to do business with them ever again.
That's what, by the way, that's what Sashi's trying to get across.
Well, I guess my point is the only reason people cared so much is because it involved Max Crosby. To your point,
one of the best players in the league.
Which I get. But why aren't people coming after the Browns then? And I don't think they should come after the Browns.
Because they don't know that it happened.
I think that there are people, like you say, that since it is the Ravens, and it was a blockbuster guy, that they got cold feet and they subjectively failed his physical.
I think every fan base would be on board with their team operating the way that the Ravens and the Browns did versus them saying, you know what, we got some bad physicals, but we don't care. Sign them anyway. Imagine what fan bases would be saying to their team if they did that.
I think the real truth to the whole thing is perhaps what Crosby hasn't said. I haven't heard him say, I'm shocked. I did everything they asked me to do.
Because he can't.
I did every exercise, everything, every medical thing.
Well, he did tell the story of how he showed up and the GM and the head coach weren't there until 5 hours in. So he made it sound like when he showed up, he got the intent that something was up before anything ever happened.
No. Yes. Well, no, that's when they probably were getting cold feet. What I'm saying to you is that he hasn't disputed their findings
because they have the receipts. What could, you know what I mean? Like, if it got to that point and he said, you know what, I'm calling their bluff.
Could say this is what my doctor had to say.
The Ravens would come to the table with their receipts. They would have to.
So I think that's one difference between Epinesa and Crosby is I don't think anybody is doubting the Browns and the physical in Crosby. I think people are questioning whether or not the Ravens tanked Crosby's physical.
Why would they do that, though, when they clearly showed their hand in giving up the picks that they gave up?
To get the picks back?
They got cold feet.
Of course, after the medicals. Any team
You
would.
and I both agree with this. I think anybody can say they changed their mind. They got buyer's remorse. But the buyer's remorse probably came from the fact that they weren't overly confident that his knee was going to hold out for years.
Which is the job of the doctors to do.
And it's a guess.
Their job.
Yeah. We've seen guys come back from things they should never come back from.
That's true.
So it's a gamble. They didn't want to take it. Right?
You know what? Life's a gamble. Let's take it.
Let's not. We come back in 2 minutes with Jordan Dejani, CBS Sports, and we'll attack it with him as well. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
The new Omaha Steak Store is now open at 1033 Polaris Parkway at Polaris Commons. Stop in today and save 50% store-wide on legendary steaks, burgers, and more. Plus, get doorbuster deals starting at just $19.99. Discover the Omaha Steaks difference today at the new store at Polaris Commons in Columbus.
It's 2026, the year you achieve your health goals. The Good Feet Store wants to help. Trade in your bad feet for good feet. We want to help you walk, run, exercise, and play in comfort this year. Visit the Good Feet Store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
Disasters strike, fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. Direct Relief delivers. No politics, no red tape. Direct Relief is a lifeline to people in crisis. So check them out at directrelief.org. And if you can, donate.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony's hidden talent is weaving a movie quote into every conversation. It's mostly not annoying. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, he's our friend Jordan Dejani, one of the best in the biz. Love talking ball with him. CBS Sports covering the league. And we welcome him back to the program. My man, how you feeling?
Yo, my friends, what's going on? It's been a long time. Thanks so much for having me back on the show. Excited to talk some ball.
All right, before we go forward, let me go back. When Max Crosby reportedly wanted out of Vegas after the Raiders shut him down for the final, I think, 2 games, the Ravens used it as an opportunity, right? They swoop in, they get a star. It was an aggressive move by Eric DeCosta. They had a lot of draft picks, and they decided to use them. And so I think it was the first time they'd ever traded a first-round pick for a player, I think. Maddie could probably confirm that or not.
That's true.
But then, so are you in the camp of that they got buyer's remorse just because they got buyer's remorse? Or you truly believe that the medicals that they got back, the information they got back from their orthopedic guys said, this just can't be trusted over the long haul?
Wow, I have a lot of thoughts on this. First of all, I am willing to entertain the conspiracy theories. Maybe that's what happened. We will never for sure know exactly what went down. But I want everyone to be on the same page, that there exists a realm of reality where the Ravens went in, and during the in-person physical, they found something concerning with Max Crosby's knee. In fact, the night it all went down, I wrote until like 3 a.m. that morning, but something I speculated on was that maybe the Ravens did find some kind of degenerative knee issue that had nothing to do with the meniscus repair that Max Crosby underwent earlier this offseason. And in fact, ESPN just recently reported that it was was a degenerative knee issue that the Ravens discovered, and that led them to pull out of the deal. So I'm willing to entertain the conspiracy theories, but I think we all need to be on the same page that maybe they did find something concerning. Now, furthermore, when it comes to the conspiracy theories, I'm not in alignment with the people that say, oh, wow, they realized Trey Hendrickson went unsigned through the first couple days of free agency, and that's an elite pass rusher that didn't require 2 first-round picks to pick up. I'm not in alignment with that because it's no surprise that Trey Hendrickson had to wait a couple of days to get signed. His asking price was astronomical. In fact, I'm surprised he got the contract he did from the Baltimore Ravens. So that's not something I agree with. But to answer your question, I don't know, and it sounds like we never will know for sure.
All right, let's stay in the AFC North because we were reacting earlier to something Ben Roethlisberger had to say. I think he was sitting down with James Harrison and Joe Hayden on their podcast, and he said, Jordan, that he believes that the Steelers, among all the teams in the AFC North, are closest to winning a Super Bowl. Do you agree with Big Ben on that take?
No, I have no idea what logically he could be talking about, to be honest with you. They don't even have a starting quarterback at this point, and it doesn't even sound certain if Aaron Rodgers is going to retire or return to the fold. And if Aaron Rodgers does not return to the fold, what exactly are the Steelers going to do at quarterback? Are they going to trade for Anthony Richardson? Are they going to trade for Will Levis? Are they bringing in Kirk Cousins? I feel like the Steelers are in a really weird spot because when they parted ways with Mike Tomlin, there was a facet of the fan base that was excited about it, and let me add more to that. They were excited for this kind of reset/rebuild that the Steelers needed for such a long time. Mike Tomlin, being one of the best head coaches, was a coach that was able to raise the floor of the franchise and get them to 500, get them to 10-7, get them to the playoffs, whatever it may be. And now the Steelers have this opportunity to hypothetically bring in a younger lead man, bring in a younger quarterback, and really get this franchise on a different track. But that all went haywire when they hired someone like Mike McCarthy to come in, which was something that not a lot of people expected to happen. And now Aaron Rodgers is again in play for the Steelers. So it feels like the plan that a lot of the fans and even journalists, reporters had for the Steelers entering this offseason kind of went the opposite direction. So, no, there's not a lot of reasons to be optimistic about the Steelers right now. Of course, we have the draft to go through. That's where real contenders are built. But, again, who is going to be their quarterback? And if it's Aaron Rodgers, what exactly does he bring to help their ceiling?
I agree with you. They're just not an organization that likes to be in the lower half of the league. I think it would do them wonders. They just hired a coach, give him a little longer leash, figure out maybe what you have with Will Howard, maybe go into the draft and get another, and just start finding your future. Aaron Rodgers leading them to 8, 9, 10 wins. It just doesn't, I don't know. But I'm not an owner, and maybe they feel like making the playoffs is a big deal. What did you make of Jackson Smith-Njigba becoming the highest paid wide receiver in the league? And I know that salaries always go up, and he had an awesome year. And this, by the way, thanks Sam Darnold also for this, because probably doesn't get those numbers without him. So where are you on not whether he's worth it in this day and age, because he is, but when you think about him matched up against Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, and the others, where does he actually rank for you now as far as a talent in the league?
Yeah, there's a lot to dissect here. And first of all, I think it's a better deal than people could really realize, even though it does reset the market at wide receiver. 4 years, $168.6 million extension, includes $120 million guaranteed. But I think what's important to note is that that's just new money. Like, JSN is actually under contract for 6 more years through 2031. So that's why it's a solid deal. Furthermore, the Seahawks being able to beat the Los Angeles Rams and Puka Nacua to the negotiating table is something that I think will pay immediate dividends in the long run. It makes life a little bit tougher for the Rams. But JSN, man, I mean, the Seahawks could not have won the Super Bowl without him. I understand that the defense was kind of the calling card of that contender with Mike McDonald, but JSN, I think, is already one of the best route runners in the NFL. He's absolutely dynamite. When it comes to ranking him among the wide receivers, I'd probably put him somewhere in the top 5. I'm going to take Jamar Chase over him. I'm still going to take Justin Jefferson over him. I still am actually going to lean towards Puka Nacua over JSN, but I think you can fit in JSN at number 4 if I'm power ranking the wide receivers.
So we're a few weeks away from the NFL draft, but as you know, there's been plenty of NFL action. When you look at some of the guys that have moved around to new teams that have retained some of those guys, who's a team or two for you right now where you like their offseason to this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think the easy answer is probably the Los Angeles Rams. They are the preseason Super Bowl favorite for good reason. They traded for Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs. They signed Jalen Watson. They re-signed underrated guys like safety Cam Curl and tight end Tyler Higbee. And I would argue that they haven't really lost anyone too important. Now, if you're looking for some other teams that are not exactly Super Bowl contenders, but they have definitely raised their floor, I would point to the Carolina Panthers, getting Jalen Phillips, the pass rusher, who was great this past season, getting linebacker Devin Lloyd from the Jacksonville Jaguars. He signed a contract that wasn't as lucrative as I speculated it might be. And then one of the sleeper additions is, how about left tackle Rasheed Walker getting 1 year for $4 million? That was a great signing by Carolina. I would like to point to them as maybe a surprise team, and of course all rests on the shoulders of Bryce Young. I mean, I understand he's smaller in stature, but I would love to see this guy take another step forward and see what the Panthers could be in a very wide open division. The last team I'll bring up is the New York Jets. Who would have thought? New York Jets. Aaron Glenn seems like the most pre-fired coach in the NFL, but I really like what they've done this offseason with the defensive side of the ball. They traded for T'Vondre Sweat, the big nose tackle. They traded for Pro Bowl safety Minka Fitzpatrick. They added Joseph Asai, Demario Davis, Kingsley Enagbare, Nashawn Wright, and Dane Belton as well. So this Jets team is going to be a little bit better, especially when you bring in like Geno Smith to replace Justin Fields.
Something that's going to be talked about a lot moving forward is going to be the future, of A.J. Brown and whether or not he's going to be an Eagle. Let's say they do trade him. Hit us with your favorite A.J. Brown destination if they move on.
So the A.J. Brown situation is fascinating because he, of course, has not held his tongue when it comes to criticizing the Eagles' offense. You have to wonder if he made it clear behind the scenes that, hey, I want out. I'll keep my mouth closed, but please get me to a new destination. One thing real quickly before I get to my landing spot is it doesn't exactly benefit Philadelphia to trade him right now or even during the NFL draft from a cap standpoint. But after the NFL draft, it makes a lot more sense when you can spread out his dead cap hits over 2 years instead of one. Plus, Philly, I think, has like 9 draft picks in this upcoming draft, so they're not exactly aching for compensation. But what I will say is there's a clear front runner, in my opinion, and that is A.J. Brown reuniting with his old coach, Mike Vrabel, and the New England Patriots. We all know the Patriots, the reigning AFC champions. Their Super Bowl window is wide open with a great head coach, a quarterback on a rookie contract. They did add Romeo Doubs in free agency, but I think they could really upgrade that room by adding a legitimate wide receiver one in A.J. Brown.
Great stuff, my man, as always. Thank you, Jordan. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, he's one of the best. Jordan DeJohnny, CBS Sports, covering the NFL. I was going to guess before he said. Like, I was going to say, don't say it yet. I want to guess. And I think he's right.
It makes sense.
And I don't know. Do you believe that Patrick Mahomes would say, yeah, get him on the squad? Like, I feel like A.J. Brown to the Chiefs feels pretty strong, too. But I don't know. Like, with Andy Reid, he would know. And
it's a much better option than Tyreek Hill right now.
They also brought back Kelsey, so they feel like they're not going into any. Yeah. They felt that was necessary.
For sure. No, I think that would make sense to me, right? It really would. I just think he's one of those guys that can put you over the top, but you also have to know that there may be some speed bumps along the way. If he's not a happy camper, then you're going to know it. And so I think you probably need a veteran guy that's going to be able to handle that. And I think Mahomes, and especially to your point, Andy Reid, who has coached up some guys that have had some flaws, whether it's off the field, emotionally, whatever it may be. And I think Big Red could handle that too.
They've gone into the draft and they've done some pretty good things in the draft, and they may do that again. But I feel like a veteran guy, but he's tricky. But maybe, you know what I think about these guys that are kind of malcontents on their own team. When they move, they put on a good face. They put a good foot forward with their new team.
You're so right, because we just saw that with George Pickens this year, right?
That's
He went out there and we didn't talk about a whole bunch of drama.
They want to prove it's not me, it was them.
Correct. And George Pickens had a career year, numbers-wise, out there in Dallas.
Buckeye Bulletin up next. Ryan Day spoke today on the importance of Julian Sain doing this. We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Dr. Mark Levy can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring. Sleep better. Live better.
Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Gravely. You can save up to 20% on Gravely commercial mowers during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event starting April 9th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today.
Columbus has a new football team, the Aviators. UFL football lands April 3rd. Be there for our home opener at historic Crew Stadium. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now at UFLaviators.com. That's UFLaviators.com. United, we fly.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in store. We'll bring your groceries right to you in our refrigerated trucks so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
And now you can enjoy free delivery on orders of $50 or more with your digital coupon. Place your order today. Restrictions apply. See coupon for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 5.99% APR, 6.02% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2026 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10TV and The Fan to relaunch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes going above and beyond. We are calling on you to help us recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in your community to be recognized on 10TV and The Fan. Send in your nominations and stories to 10tv.com/raisetheroof. 10tv.com/raisetheroof. Nominate a local hero today and help us raise the roof for those who make a difference.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Listen up. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Dr. Mark Levy's been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results. And now he has an office in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra. Exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
Teachers need tons of help.
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
The Jackets are back at Nationwide for a battle with the Hurricanes. Live fan coverage starts Tuesday night at 7.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan. The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yuengling drafts for only $4. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Buy 4 windows and get 4 free plus an extra 10% off from windownation.com.
All right, practice number 6 for your Ohio State Buckeyes. And we have always time to talk about the quarterback, Julian Sayin, who at times especially in the Michigan game, was using his legs and the instinctual part of that. And I think the reason also, for two reasons. I think the narrative on it is okay and probably factual because it is needed. You do need a quarterback to have instincts, but you don't want him to have happy feet either. You want him to just take off when his first read isn't there. You want him to be able to go through progressions. And remember, Julian Sain is learning still. He's a young quarterback. I know he's a Heisman candidate and may have won it if he had a better game against Indiana. But just trying to say that part of this is an evolution of a quarterback.
No doubt, man.
And I think this is the extra part of it now, which is he didn't come into the college with happy feet. So you didn't have to actually rein that part in. You were actually trying to find a little bit. And that all comes with instincts. And he got some happy feet, probably for a reason, against Indiana, where he would just exit stage right if he felt heat instead of maybe seeing if he could throw to the vacated spot. But Ryan Day was asked about it again, and I think he truly believes that this is somewhat obvious, and that a quarterback needs to be able to do this to keep drives going, and it really is it can be exactly the way Ryan Day describes it.
Yeah, it's the X factor. And it's something, he knows that, some of the games he did this year. And I think going into this season, there's going to be opportunities for him to do that. And that, can be a big point of the game. And so I think there's two ways to do that. One is when it breaks down, escaping the pocket, keeping your eyes downfield, or then escaping and getting a few yards. In the rivalry game, he had a big scramble down the sideline for a first down. That was huge. More of that, the better. And then there's also the run game, where whether it's a design run or he's reading somebody in the box, equating numbers. So the more we can do that, the better. Again, is that going to be the first thing we do with him? No, but he needs to be able to do that. All of our quarterbacks do.
This conversation reminds me so much of the C.J. Stroud conversation we were all having. To where you watch CJ week in and week out, and you're like, man, this dude can carve you up from the pocket, but there was just a little meat left on the bone there. Then we get to that Georgia game, and it's like, wait a minute, this dude is lights out. It's a whole new guy. And so now, fortunately for them, they have a whole bunch of runway for Julian to showcase that he can do that. And I think he will show that this year. It doesn't need to be anything over the top. You don't need him to be a true dual threat quarterback, but you just want to have that in the back of the defender's mind and the back of the defensive coordinator's mind, that if this guy needs to, he will take off and move the change or pick up those 3 yards and make it a 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4 versus a 3rd and 8 or whatever the scenario may be. So I like that they're hammering that home for him. At the end of the day, you want him to do what he does well, and that is be a very accurate quarterback and deliver it to the Chris Henrys and the Jeremiah Smiths. That's always job number one, right? Like, is do that and get it to your playmakers cleanly. But that added element will definitely raise the ceiling of this offense and keep defenses on their heels.
All right, you guys want the trivia question of the day? Now that we're talking about quarterbacks?
Sure.
It'd just be a guess.
Okay.
Because we can't really do it with quarterbacks in college because the stats are different. Right?
Zach Smith's YouTube caption?
We doing rushing yards right now?
No, no, you can't really do that in college because they count negative and all that stuff with sacks. And
all right, thank you.
He was asking me a question and you were talking.
That's an inside joke.
He's just being I'll tell you during the break.
All right.
I'll tell you during the break.
You won't get it, AR.
I'll tell you during the break.
For us young guys.
Oh man. Speaking of, real quick, since you mentioned that, I had a 10-year-old yesterday tell me that I'm officially an unk. So I'm not a young guy in the eyes of the youth anymore. 10-year-old told me 6'7" is dead. Can't ever say that again.
Good.
That's done. But he looked me dead in the eye. He said, "You're officially an unk."
We did a good job on this show. We killed that when we hit the new year.
Yeah, we pushed it to the back. We did.
We're done.
Sorry, Aaron. I'll tell you the joke. No,
I'm doing more of a deeper dive into these conversations you're having with a 10-year-old. We ought to get this person on the program. No, I mean, like, we could bounce things off of, and
it's my little guy Simeon, man, working with him at Ripple Baseball.
Well done.
Come on up to Ripple Baseball. Send your kids up there. We'll get them right. Now, back to your trivia question.
All right, we'll see. We'll just play who's closer.
Okay.
Closer to the number.
All right.
I'll get the music ready.
Not Price is Right rules. You can be over and be closer.
Okay.
Idiots. All right. Let's start with, I'll go back 3 years. We'll just do the last 3 years. Kyle McCord's longest rush.
I like this guy. I'm going to say 17 yards.
Okay.
Wow, that would have been my guess.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, then break the tie yourself.
Okay.
Like pick.
Okay, well, I was gonna do this. I was gonna do this no matter what. So now it's just, do I pick 16 or 18? So I'd like to guess second on this show. I'll go 16.
And you said what? 17?
Yes, sir.
So he's closer.
12.
It was 9.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right.
He couldn't even get a first down by himself.
Maddie, it's a 3-game series. You have a chance. Okay? You're down 1-0 in the series.
Okay.
Will Howard's longest rush.
This is going to be significantly higher. I don't like your laugh over there. That means I'm wrong.
No, it's not.
I'm going to say
anything.
Will's longest run was 35 yards. And I feel like I might be low.
My guess was going to be 24, but just to play the numbers game, I'll say 34.
And you said
35. Series over.
TLC again.
This is why I got 3 theme songs.
No, we got to
It
stop
was
that.
19.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of attempts. How many attempts? Do you have that in front of you for Will that year?
Rushing attempts?
Yeah. How many times?
Yeah, 105.
Okay, there we go.
All right. And finally.
Well, series is over. I'm on my way to Cancun.
I know, but let's not get shut out.
1, 2, 3, Cancun.
All right.
got
And the
sweat.
final
Next
one,
Van Axel.
Julian Sayen's longest rush last year.
I don't have a clue.
Well, you're going to pick off my number anyway, so
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, and by the way, he should have had to go first on the second
that's
one.
true.
And then you would have been
That's
able to
true.
go higher. That
Make me go first on this one.
Go first.
I mean, I'm throwing darts right now. 19. I don't know.
Oh, I'm going 18 then.
Oh.
You know.
It was 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There it is.
All right. There's a fun little
I like
game
that.
today.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
All right, there's your Buckeye Bulletin. We're going to come back top of the hour and visit with our friend, Bobby Carpenter. He is next, is he not?
Yes, he is.
All right, beautiful. And the question on the table will be, can we have too much football? Can it be? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey, Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years, and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Oh, did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Raise your hand if you're excited about feeling older faster than you should. No takers? Yeah, I didn't think so. Ongoing pain makes you feel older than you are, but here's the good news. QC Kinetics patients right here in Columbus, they're getting relief right now, feeling younger and jumping back into life full speed ahead, and that didn't happen in an operating room. My friend Dr. Ray Tesner and his team use the latest regenerative treatments backed by real science. Treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your body, concentrate them right where you need the relief the most. This is how I was treated. I had a knee issue. I went in there. We had a consultation. I went through a series of treatments. And you know what? After a handful of months, my knee started feeling better and better until I was able to get out there and do the things I loved again. It's all true. It's all real. The sooner you get started, the sooner your inflammation eases and the sooner you'll start feeling better again. So find out if you're a candidate at your free consultation at qckinetics.com/Columbus or 380-208-4544.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here. You know, there was a time if you handed me a bread basket at dinner, it was like feeding a gator. You might lose a finger. Bread, pasta, pizza, man, carbs were undefeated in my life. That is, until Awaken 180 Weight Loss came in and flipped the script. Look, I've run the gauntlet of diets, and each time, carbs won by knockout. But Awaken 180 isn't a diet. It's a whole new playbook for changed-up lifestyle. We all know it's necessary to lose that weight, but this is to keep it off. That constant carb craving, the one we all shrug off as normal, gone. Sure, I still love my pizza. But here's the difference. Now I don't need it. So now, most times when that waiter hustles over with a basket of temptation, I just grin, give a little nod, and wave it away like I'm passing on a 4th and long. Because I'm in control now. Awaken 180 isn't just a game changer, it's a life changer. Trust me. Call them at 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. Your future self will thank you.
Hey there, guys. Bo Bishop here. When it comes to making a big decision like the ring, you don't wing it. That's why I trust my friends at Diamond Cellar. For nearly 80 years, their family has helped generations of couples celebrate life's biggest moments with exceptional quality, larger diamonds, and better value. And guys, here's the best part. They walk you through it step by step so you know you're getting it right. Whether you're ready to propose or ready to upgrade, visit Diamond Cellar, Sawmill Road, Easton Town Center, or learn more at diamondcellar.com. DiamondCellar.com.
Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, energy bills have been crazy as of late, which has had our phone ringing off the hook. Pella Windows give you both a home makeover and often an energy bill makeover.
We hear that all the time at the other window place. We love the makeover. No, wait. We want a do-over. That's what they say. Is do-over and makeover the same thing?
Get the windows that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Ohio State sophomore guard John Mobley Jr. announced he's declaring for the NBA draft while maintaining his college eligibility. He averaged 15.7 points while shooting over 40% from three last year. College football, Ohio State finished its 6th spring practice today after head coach Ryan Day had high praise for freshman wideout Chris Henry Jr.
He's flashed. I mean, he's really had some nice plays. You know, to play as a freshman's a lot. And so, you know, he has to have the mentality that he wants to play from day one. He has all the traits, he has all the skills, he has everything that we thought he would be in recruiting we've seen on the field.
Baseball in Columbus tonight. OSU softball greets Bowling Green at 4. Baseball hosts Toledo at 6. Columbus Clippers welcome the Indianapolis Indians at 6:15. This update sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Locally inspired dishes and award-winning cocktails. Visit highbankco.com to make your reservation. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, welcome back in our weekly visit with the legend, who is the one and only Bobby Carpenter. Good to have you, my man.
It's great to be with you, Rothman.
Thanks, buddy.
How many times, I wouldn't say a week, how many times a month do you think you bring up like clock management at the end of the game, and then that erodes into the 1998 NFC Championship game involved with staying in bounds, not running out?
I don't bring that up. I don't bring up 98 that much. You guys did it to me. It was a natural.
Played the
it was a natural.
The kicker because we.
It was a natural feeling, and I think you and me and your father probably would agree.
I don't know. My dad was yelling at him to stay in bounds.
Exactly.
Yeah. What are you doing?
That's what I'm
Just
saying.
take a
We're
knee.
in lockstep, honestly. By the way, this is breaking. I don't know if it is, but John Mobley Jr. is declaring for the draft. Now, he's maintaining his eligibility. This used to be this used to be something that was massive. But I love this last line. If he comes back to college, he'll stay a Buckeye. Well,
when?
I would hope. This has got to be just a free evaluation, right? If you get free information from the NBA on what they feel about you.
I don't know why guys wouldn't do it. I mean, you can go there, you can go through the whole process. If nothing else, like it's a good practice run for when you do it for real. And they can tell you what you think, what you need to get better at, where you need to improve, where you are good. So I don't know what the big negative is with it anymore.
I agree with you. You mentioned practice run. We were talking about running with Julian Sand in our previous segment. Just curious what that's going to look like, how much of that is going to be needed next year within this offense. I don't think, Bob, it needs to be a crazy amount, but just putting that in the back of a defender's mind, I think, can go a long way.
Yeah, you got to be able to run. I think just when the opportunity presents itself, you don't have to force it in there, but you've got to make sure that when it opens up, you can jelly that thing right on through.
This is a tough one because we're not in the room. We don't know. But the Max Crosby deal, when it fell through and they just weren't comfortable, that happens. It doesn't happen a lot. The disclaimer on every trade is pending a physical.
You want to know what happened?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what happened. Is the fact that our boy in Cincinnati wasn't getting very much on the open market, and they realized instead of giving up 2 1s to get this guy, we can have someone who's close to as good, pay him probably a little bit less, and now we can find a way to slither out of this thing any way we can. You can always, listen, I guarantee you Max Crosby's going to have probably 10-plus sacks next year and be a Pro Bowl caliber player. And they're going to be like, well, but we couldn't pass him on a physical? There's a lot of leeway.
They went with the long-term prognosis. That
He's like 27, 28. What do you mean long-term? Was he not going to be there when he's 50?
No, his knee.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what does it mean long-term?
Okay, so you're in the camp of that they manipulated this because a better opportunity came up.
I think a better opportunity came up, and since that was there, you can conveniently look at probably any player in the NFL, and then there's a doctor who tell you, like, yeah, there's risk there with that, and that's all you need.
So let me ask you this. Are you not buying the reports out there that they wanted to pair both of them together?
No, I don't think financially they could handle that.
Why didn't Max's agent come out and dispute this? Like, wait a minute, is that not done?
Because maybe there's still an opportunity to trade him later, and like scorched earth on the Ravens probably isn't the way to go. He's got to represent other clients. Like you're gonna call him a liar in public.
Okay,
there's a lot of reasons why you don't necessarily just. There's only 32. There's only 32 of those teams. So like burning a bridge with one. And by the way, some of those guys at that place can also leave and go other places. So it ultimately can end up.
Why didn't they just then offer the Bengals a discount on getting Trey then? Why didn't they go after that? If their whole
I think they wanted Max, and they probably thought that Trey would garner as much or more on the open market. And
Two firsts?
Well, Trey's out, right?
Right. They could have gotten him.
He was a free agent, though, right?
Like why? If their whole motive, my whole point is their whole motive was to get an equal or maybe a hair less of a player for a lot less. They could have started there.
But I don't think that they realized that Trey was going to be a lot less salary-wise and compensation, because I don't know if they were going to have to redo the deal with Max, if they were just going to absorb his deal. But I think that there's a decent chunk there, and they started looking at it thinking, why do we want to give up all this when we can have something close to it, and we don't need to give up any draft compensation as well?
You think
why buy the cow is what you're saying?
Well, you can get a good look at a T-bone.
That's right.
It's got to be your bowl.
Do you think Crosby gets traded at the draft, or do you think he's a Raider this year and just plays for them?
I think there's a decent chance he's a Raider.
Yeah,
from the people that I had talked to about it.
Okay. Speaking of AFC North stuff, Jimmy Haslam comes out and he's trying to put a fresh coat of paint on this Deshaun Watson situation and leaving the door open for this. How do you feel about those comments about how this thing could turn into a home run still?
I feel like he may have turned into that homeless man that told him to draft Johnny a while ago.
Wreck this league.
And this is his last chip on the roulette table. He's just praying that it hits. And I said, if somehow by a miracle of God that he is able to lead them to like an AFC championship, I think you could say that the trade wasn't just an abject failure, but I wouldn't call it a success.
That's fair.
I feel like there's two sides of this. I'm still paying you a lot of money to work and be competitive. And if you can help my other quarterbacks or be better than them, I want to see it. And number two, though, the bad part is that if he is good or decent, am I really going to throw more money at him and reinvest in him? Right? So what's the purpose in really playing him unless he turns into the guy you originally thought he was going to be?
The thing is, I don't know that anybody, even if he is good this year, I don't know that there's anybody else that would pay him. Not with all the baggage and everything that comes with it.
I don't know, man. We just watched Malik Willis get a bag.
Yeah, but Malik Willis doesn't have a Google search that spans 28 pages.
Can't dispute that part.
But that's the problem.
But his football resume is not even close to what Deshaun's is either.
I understand, but what have you done for me lately? Yeah. Malik's is a little better in the last 4 years.
Two Achilles tears later, though.
Exactly.
Also.
Yeah, but we're talking about Malik Willis that played 5 games and was lucky enough to have a good game in prime time, which I think is a factor. I just think if Deshaun plays well, which I'm with you guys, is a very, very low percentage of happening, you got to have the conversation of we can't just tell this guy to just leave.
I don't think you tell him to leave, but I think you tell us what you're getting out there, and I think they'd feel confident matching it because I don't know. There's not too many owners. After some of the stuff you saw, old boy from the Falcons and that crap going on there, like just from the Super Bowl, just the negative press that came with that, I don't know that you get a whole lot of owners to sign off on that coming to town. 2 Achilles tears and 48 masseurs later. I don't know.
Not masseuse.
Maybe both.
I feel like you're stunting any Shedeur growth by playing Deshaun. Even if he is a little better. That's my whole point of if he plays okay.
The deuce?
He's not our future. He
might be. He's only 30.
You think Jimmy would really pay him?
I think if it's
the going rate of a starting quarterback in the NFL.
That's my point. Is I don't think anybody would. So I think you'd give him a discount.
I don't think it's nowhere near the top of the market. Like that's craziness if they want to do that. But if it's a 2-year, $65 million deal, if he plays well, I don't think that's crazy.
No, I'm not against that. Like that's like mid-tier money, and there's no guarantees to it.
What would put you back in the cleats? 18-game schedule, but you get 2 bye weeks. You signing up for that? Another game check, all that good stuff?
I mean, it's the old line. That's what the money's for. How much are you going to pay me more? Like, how much more am I going to get to play an extra game?
To risk another game.
It's not even risk, dude. It's just the general beating that you're going to get. And I'm not talking to wedding crashers under the table. You know, I mean, try to go through that and having some real problems.
It was terrific.
Okay? Like, it's a function of, like, at the end of the season, you feel really bad. And, like, walking around.
That's why I'm giving you an extra bye week.
That doesn't matter. It's not like this isn't
Rejuvenate.
What the heck is the movie Cocoon? It's like we're jumping in the bye week's not the pool with Wilford Brimley and come out feeling great.
Diabetes.
By the way, Wilford Brimley's only like 55 in that. He could be playing quarterback in the NFL.
Wonder how old he was in The Firm.
He was not that old. Someone showed a picture of him and Tom Cruise at the same age. It's like,
come on.
I'm dead serious.
In The Firm?
I think, no.
That's awesome.
I think Tom Cruise now is older than Wilford Brimley when he did Cocoon.
All right, you and I are going to agree upon this. We both love him. We both think Maverick's amazing.
Yeah.
I watch it. It's a rewatch. I think I've seen it 6 times now. But in the original, I think I've told you this when we were hosting together, he's done a lot of athletic things in his life. He prides himself on doing his own stunts.
Yeah.
And he's played an athlete. He's played a NASCAR driver. He's done a lot of things that would make you feel like he's a very good action
Just saw
guy.
this thing from him in Mission
But
Impossible.
Bob,
like, jerked himself up this pole upside down when he's handcuffed, and it was like actually him.
But
no
Bob,
stunt double.
In Top Gun, when he has to finally at the end let go of Goose, and he throws those dog tags into the ocean.
Yeah.
That throw is brutal.
Yeah.
If I'm directing that movie, I'm like, Tom, I'm going to protect you from yourself. That throw was awful.
Yeah, let's do a cutaway.
We're not doing that. That's not how someone throws a baseball or anything.
Did you watch him in the? That's why they did a lot of the cutaways when they were playing the, what do they call it? Dogfight football. Like I mean, his throw
Yes.
is not good. They did the cutaways.
And you know, I love him. Stefan Djordjevic, all the right moves.
Yeah.
Great corner, go for the ball. Like, he's done so many things. He cannot throw.
No. That's why they had Costner throw in all the baseball movies and not him.
That's right.
There's a reason why they had Sheen up there throwing, because those guys actually look like they can throw a ball.
That's right.
Can't have Cruz up there doing that. It looks bad.
I got another football question. Are you leaving or are you staying?
Hang out.
Will you?
Yeah.
All right. I got another good NFL question for you. We'll do it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again, so call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners, only 30 calories, just 5 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. That great Pepsi taste with even more to love. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
Home should be a comfortable place, but sometimes it's filled with rooms that are too hot, too cold, high energy bills, noise, and polluted air. You deserve better because you care about home comfort, and that's why Logan Services will care for you. We're fast with same-day estimates and next-day installation. We're friendly, listening to you, offering a system for every home and every budget. Get comfortable by choosing Logan AC and Heat Services.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turns, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Remember your first football game, the sound of the crowd, the smell of the grill, the moment you fell in love with the game. This spring break, pass that moment on. At the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, families walk through the greatest moments in football history and create new memories of their own. See the legends, experience the history, share the game you love. Make the Hall of Fame part of your spring break road trip. Plan your visit today at ProFootballHof.com.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
Public education matters, and attendance matters. Students who show up nearly every day to school can learn, grow, and thrive. But if they're not there, they miss important learning opportunities and can easily end up behind. Families must make their children's school attendance a priority, and educators must be strong partners to support that goal.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Some foot issues just can't be fixed by those expensive shoe stores or shoe inserts. A foot exam from a doctor of podiatric medicine, who is the medical expert in foot and ankle care, may give solutions after doing a complete foot examination. If you suffer from foot, heel, or ankle pain, let us help you find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association so you know you are being treated by the very best.
For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see partly cloudy skies and very windy conditions here for today, with winds gusting up to near 40 miles per hour. It will also be quite warm with highs around 80 degrees this afternoon. And then showers and storms arriving here for tonight with lows down to 63. We'll see more showers and a few storms here on Wednesday with highs in the 60s. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Leads.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, a couple NFL things with our friend Bobby Carpenter, and then the social experiment question of the week. By the way, did you see that? So the owners are in Phoenix, and the Jay Glazer put out a video that it's like an annual thing. They all get together and like day drink. Like all the head coaches.
Yeah, the coaches are there, yeah.
All the coaches. He went all around the pool or whatever, and it's every coach and and
this is when we get the annual coaches photo too, right? With all
they've already taken.
I haven't seen that this year, so I that video is pretty cool.
They took that before they started drinking.
Okay,
it was great. Like Dan Campbell's wearing an old Tigers hat.
Dan can drink now.
Yeah, I mean they were getting after it. It was.
We know Ben Johnson and LaFleur are probably not hanging out. Because that seems to be some real beef between the two.
I doubt they'd be at that pool party.
Not
be a great
on the other
one
side.
guy gets tossed in. Like, that would be awesome.
I got Ben Johnson in that because Ben Johnson seems a little off. And those guys in fight, that's who I want in my corner.
By the way, did you see that? Did you see that Todd Monken missed the photo?
It was late?
Yes, because he was getting
a massage.
Come on.
He did. Princess.
He didn't really say that, did he?
It's been a great.
Okay, so, I mean, it's good either way. I'm going to go with it.
Todd Monken missed the photo because he was getting a haircut so he could look good in the photo that he was late for.
That's so great.
Come on.
That's tough.
By the way, speaking of coaches, so you know our guy, the Chicklet, now the head coach at Northern Illinois,
the Huskies.
Looks like University of Illinois.
By the way, I got something for you. He did a presser the other day. You know what he I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I have to say this. So they were talking about strategy and connecting and chemistry, and he goes, We're bringing in quiet time. It was right out of Tress's handbook.
Oh yeah,
like everything.
They're all those guys. Yeah. They're all like little mini Tresses. Marcus, the same thing.
Yeah. Quiet time.
So they brought in. I'm trying to think exactly what his role is. Jason Brooks joined the Ohio State defensive staff, like I think quality control, working with the front seven, doing some things. But he was with the Steelers, and he looked at me and goes, "Hey, do you know Harley?" And I was talking about someone. I go, "Oh yeah, Rob and I are the same age." He's like, I go, "Did you work with him?" He goes, "Oh yeah, we were at FIU together." He's like, he coached linebackers, I was coaching safeties, or vice versa, or something like that. I'm like,
yeah, Rob was the assistant linebackers coach.
Oh, that's amazing. And he goes, we'll have to talk about that.
Oh, the summer. Oh man, we had some good times together.
I want you to think that guy is now a head college football coach for a Division I football program.
Well, is it his great uncle, his chick?
Yeah.
Okay. Ohio State's first 3-time All-American, the house that Harley built. His great nephew is Rob Harley, played with Bob, worked with me in television, and is now the head coach at Northern Illinois, a school I used to cover when I was in Rockford. And if you know him so well, it's a funny thing.
Oh, yeah.
But it's cool. He's kind of more like a mini Fick now.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the voice is always hoarse, and he's...
Well, that's all the coaches now. Tress never yelled. Have you ever listened? Go talk to Schleggs. I go, you've been drinking sand? Like, how do you sound like that? What is going on with you? I go, you have a cough drop. He goes, no, I'm trying to train it. I'm like, that's not how it works.
Once, when I took my interview in Rockford, I was talking to GM, and I don't know, maybe I don't know if he wanted my voice to be deeper or what. And he's like,
smoke some cigs.
He goes, you know, you should probably take up smoking. I'm like, do you know what year this is? It's like 1994. I'm not picking up smoking.
I've been the last guy with the cool kids.
Yeah. All right. Onside kicks in the NFL. There's a new rule now that you don't have to just do it at the end of the game. Like they just put it. Now you can do it anytime. But I got a real problem with having to tell the opposition I'm doing it?
Tell them about the surprise?
Yeah, why can't I just hop out at the right time and do an onside kick?
And that was always the beauty of it. And
Right.
believe me, that was terrible. I had one, maybe two surprise onsides. We got one. We did not get the other. And it's terrifying.
Sean Payton in the Super Bowl did it. Got it.
That's what they won the game for.
Yes.
They stole the Super Bowl from Peyton Manning by doing that.
To give you the baseball analogy, be like, you can bunt, but you just got to tell us you're doing it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here for that.
Come on.
Come on in.
Come on. It's
I'm
stupid.
with you guys. Yeah, I'm with you guys.
Like, they feel like they took the lid off this thing by saying, all right, you can do an onside kick anytime. You just got to tell everybody you're doing it. Come on. I don't know what they're doing. All right, you want the social experiment question of the week?
I do.
All right. You're on a first date, and you take...
Oh, is this the kiss cam?
Yeah, you take her to a baseball game, and you're on the kiss cam. And so... but it's a first date.
Yeah.
Wait, who did you hear talking about this?
Ian and Amber were talking about this last night on...
Fitzy was?
Yeah.
So he took that...
Well, how do you know?
From our show.
Yeah, we asked him about it. He was
We asked him about it.
I was wondering,
That's
was he
amazing.
listening?
That's why I wanted to jump in there.
Perfect.
Okay, good.
Well, it was a perfect thing because we have not asked a woman about this.
Yeah.
No.
And he hosts with a woman.
I love that.
It was perfect.
I love that.
And I think his saying is, if it was going well, I'd lean in and go for it. And I'm like, all right. I mean, and then the other thing he posed to her, he's like, have you seen what some of these women do when they get on the kiss cam now? Some of the things that they simulate transpiring.
He kind of went down that road with us.
But have you seen those, like the clips? They'll show them. I see them pop on my social
When
media.
they have to cut away real fast?
Well, yeah, because the girl like leans over, pulls her hair back, if you will. And I'm like, that is amazing. That's a keeper.
I
right
asked,
there.
so Maddie had me text Mike Todd of Nationwide and in-arena announcer, and I said, how often are you guys, 41 nights a year at Blue Jackets, how often are you doing the kiss cam? He goes, it's very rarely done these days anymore.
Why?
And I said, you asked the right question at the presser. The answer is Coldplay.
Come on. That's a great opportunity.
They don't want to put their fans in the pressure cooker of thinking that maybe they're out there on
going on a date with someone who isn't.
Well, maybe you're out of town.
Well, listen, then you know what you do? You be like a couple of Fonzies. And what's Fonzies like, honey bunny? Fonzie's cool. All right? The Coldplay situation only happened because they freaked out. No, just cool out. And if you just would have played it cool, you would have hide under a desk.
Panicked.
Then
Said not to panic.
I think you know what they did? That was the little boozer. Just throw the ball.
Right.
Like, hey, just let him come and foul you.
I wish he would have panicked even more and just thrown it straight into the sky.
I heard you talking about that, and that would burn the time. They do that in the NFL. But here's the thing. All you got to do is hold the ball. They're going to come and tackle you.
Of course.
Going back to the kiss cam, though.
Yeah.
If you know you're there with somebody you're not supposed to be with, I think 9 out of 10 humans are freaking out when you get put on that jumbotron.
Yeah, you know why? Because they can't handle a max blitz. No one on the roof. You got to stare down the pressure and deliver the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay in the pocket.
Stay in the pocket.
Act as if.
That's easier said than done.
Well, that's my
easier
point.
said than done.
Ben Affleck in Boiler Room. Act as if.
You got to pretend like you. Hey. You know, Coach always act like you've been there before.
Yep.
Which I hate that saying.
Hey, you know what?
I hate that saying.
You got to lean in and just act cool. What's Fonzie like? Put that arm around it and just give him the thumbs up. You know.
Correctamundo.
Correctamundo.
All right.
God,
are you getting the bullpen? Are you getting the hook?
That's good. I got like.
Uncle Dom came looking in the window for
he
you.
did.
Oh, you were getting the hook.
What was I going to say?
Have I seen Pulp Fiction? Yes.
Okay, that's Fonzie at the end of the deal.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Hey, ask him over there, by the way, how his movie watch list
What have we
is
seen?
coming
They
along.
said there's one more.
Yeah, do we need to put that one on it?
Oh, Pulp Fiction?
Yep.
Ooh, that's one
I
that
don't
you're...
think AR low. Yeah, I figured.
No, it's okay. It was supposed to be Travolta's comeback film, and
really
maybe it was. He gained a lot of weight for it. It was good. They had some great lines.
Samuel Jackson is awesome in it, though.
You feel like it's a hair overrated?
Why am I the one back here on Brain Detail?
No, I don't think overrated's the right word.
There's a lot of things in there.
I'm used to this energy from you when this movie comes. I'm curious.
Maybe I just get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
there's the watch scene with. By the way, today's Christopher Walken's
I like that.
83rd birthday, 84th birthday.
Up is.
So you got the watch scene. You've got the basement.
Your
gimp.
father.
You got the gimp. You've got the bathroom scene.
Dom is ready for you.
There's the big Kahuna burger. I'm back here on brain detail, and then you've got the diner scene at the very end.
Yeah, I love the movie. I think it's really good.
Rothman, how TV people treat radio.
What did you see? What's the last one before we get out of here? We're going to get you going.
The three that you gave me were Wolf of Wall Street, Superbad, and The Departed.
Yes.
Does Pulp Fiction fall into those categories?
Oh, yeah, that's up there on this list. I would put it at the bottom of those. Have you seen any of the movies that they've asked you? What's the most recent?
No.
What do you do?
That's a phenomenal question.
He's
like Bodie's watching Game of Thrones, dude, and he's like midway through season 3.
That's a journey.
To go back and be in that headspace for the first time, I pay for it.
Him and Jamie are still like marching back to King's Landing. I was like, who's in there? He's, well, some other people just showed up, and I'm like, it's going to be getting really good.
So jealous.
Bob, we enjoy it as always, man.
Always. It's a pleasure, guys.
Great visit with the one and only Bobby Carpenter. We come back, and not only an 18-game schedule is on the table, but maybe another holiday-ish game. We'll tell you about that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Gravely. You can save up to 20% on Gravely commercial mowers during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event starting April 9th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today.
This radio station is more than 100 years old. And during that time, absolutely no one has hosted more shows than the Common Man. I don't know why we're bragging about that, but I just read the copy, okay? And then there's Timmy. What can I say about good old Timmy? Well, he's a heck of a guy. All right, let's cut the bull. Common Man and Timmy host a show that'll make you laugh at immature things, overreact to whatever's going on in the world of sports, and probably embarrass themselves in the process. And we love them for it. Common Man and Timmy. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here. You know, there was a time if you handed me a bread basket at dinner, it was like feeding a gator. You might lose a finger. Bread, pasta, pizza, man, carbs were undefeated in my life. That is, until Awaken 180 weight loss came in and flipped the script. Look, I've run the gauntlet of diets, and each time, carbs won by knockout. But Awaken 180 isn't a diet. It's a whole new playbook for changed up lifestyle. We all know it's necessary to lose that weight, but this is to keep it off. That constant carb craving, the one we all shrug off as normal, gone. Sure, I still love my pizza, but here's the difference. Now I don't need it. So now, most times when that waiter hustles over with a basket of temptation, I just grin, give a little nod, and wave it away like I'm passing on a 4th and long, because I'm in control now. Awaken 180 isn't just a game changer, it's a life changer. Trust me. Call them at 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. Your future self will thank you.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Maddie's favorite show is Big Brother. Don't read into it. He's only watching strangers through hidden cameras. You're listening to Rothman and Creepy Stalker Guy.
All right, enjoyed that visit. 18-game NFL schedule. I said this years ago that, you know, we would just want to supersize everything, right?
Yeah.
Everything bigger is better. It's honestly
more of everything.
And I'll tell you what usually happens when you mention football.
Mm-hmm.
It's everyone's like, how more football? Of course. Like, who would say no to that? Like, and I because people doesn't matter. I don't know how meaningful. I've always added the word meaningful to it. Mm-hmm. More meaningful football. Mm-hmm. Like, now you tell me if they add an 18th game, you know, divisions that are kind of going one way, it won't help those. Teams that have seeds locked up, or if I have the number 1 seed locked up, I'm still going to obviously rest my guys, and we'll have a whole rest conversation, that whole boring thing about, hey, what works for you doesn't necessarily work for another team, so we don't need to have that conversation. But 18-game schedule, I know why the owners want it. The owners want it because a regular season game brings a lot of money.
No question.
And that's another game on TV.
That's why the league wants it too. I'm very fascinated to see if the NFLPA, if the Players Association can get on the same page about this. Because that's what I find fascinating is, me as a fan, we go to that schedule, I'm here for it. Like you said, my brain goes to exactly what you mentioned. I'm getting an extra game or two, whatever that's going to look like, I'm here for it, I'll be locked in. But when it comes to the NFLPA, you've got so many different agendas.
They said the same thing when they were saying 17 games. And guess what happened?
It happened, right? And I think at the end of the day, that's probably where this is headed. But can the PA get on the same page when you have guys that are veterans that are no doubt established starters that are going to be like,
more money though? Like Bob said.
Yeah, that's there. Right. But I think, too, as far as what this sounds like it's going to look like is, you mentioned it with Bob, probably 2 bye weeks, getting rid of 1 preseason game, which I'm here for. But there are certain players that would probably say, I need that extra preseason game to try to make the team.
I've always brought that up.
And that's why I think,
them.
That's why I think the Players Association part of it, to me, is where I think this is interesting, is can they get all those guys or enough votes on one side or whatever that's going to look like to sign off on this?
Yeah, I mean, the regular fan would say, okay, dump preseason and give me another regular season game. That sounds great to me, but doesn't necessarily fit for the guys. If you do preseason and the Super Bowl and you're playing, 23, 24 games, that's done. I think this push for 18 could happen. I think there are concerns, rightfully so, and the NFL is going to play, 9 international games next year?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the first one's in Australia.
Yeah, they're just trying to take over every inch of the planet that they possibly can with the locations and the sites of these games, but also where we as fans are consuming these games as well, right? Because we talked about it over the last couple of years to where you better have all these different outlets to get these games if you really want to watch them, or you're going to be missing out. Whether it's, Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, Peacock, they're all over the place because there's so much money to be had. And that's the underlying, I think, factor in all of this too, is the expansion of the game itself from the league side of things is going to equal more money, and how that can open up the cap and just all of those domino effects that come along with this.
No, and listen, any good business is always thinking about growth, but from a product standpoint, growth isn't always the best thing. You can expand too much, and you can dilute your own product, and that can happen.
That's real.
So the other one that was brought up, and TLC brought this up before the show, was a Thanksgiving Eve game.
So as it currently stands, we obviously have the 3 Thanksgiving games, plus because Thursday Night Football goes to Amazon, but on Thanksgiving, that's your Thursday night game that goes to NBC because they treat it like Sunday Night Football.
WANBC.
So we got, I got that somewhere in here. I just don't have it ready. But the Black Friday game goes to Amazon. So in that circumstance, you would be envisioning a week where Wednesday is Thanksgiving Eve. That's a Netflix game. You have 3 NFL games on Thanksgiving Day. You have the Black Friday game with the Egg Bowl coming on later that night, probably. You have Ohio State, Michigan, along with the rest of rivalry week in college football on Saturday, and then a full NFL Sunday. That is a loaded week, which begs the question that I think you guys asked Bobby, like, at what point is there too much football where you got to really pick and choose what you care to watch?
So the 2 teams that will be playing on Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, obviously would have to have, and they're not playing from Sunday.
No, we're going all the way to the next Sunday.
No, but I mean before that.
Oh, you're saying
they can't play the Sunday before if they're playing Wednesday. It's already a short week playing Thursday. Ooh. You're going to have them play Sunday and then again on Wednesday?
You probably work your bye weeks around that.
They would have to, right? Yeah, they would have to. That's a good question.
A very late bye week.
You can't have those guys playing on a Wednesday.
You might have
on Sunday. Can't have it.
You might have like a team who had a bye week the week before playing a team that played Thursday Night Football.
This only works for me if they go to 18 and they add a second bye week. Because those teams that will be playing Thanksgiving Eve would have their second bye week before the Wednesday.
Yeah.
You can't play Wednesday. Like, I was looking like the Patriots schedule last year. Their bye week was their bye week was late.
Week 12?
No, they had it in week 14.
Okay.
1 bye week. So, yeah, you could probably get this done and have just the 1 bye week. I didn't think there was, honestly, Maddie, it didn't jump into my brain that a team would have a bye week 13 games in. I always thought there was a cutoff on how many, because some teams have a very early bye week.
Yeah.
And the Patriots had theirs in week 14.
I think the earliest bye week you can have is, why do I have week 5 in my brain? Yeah.
This doesn't, so maybe if they did stay at 17, you could have your bye week in week 11.
And
and then play that Wednesday night. But you can't can't have that short of a week.
And I'm very curious, too, how the coaches are feeling about this and how that would affect their process as a team to get ready when it comes to preparation and practice. Because if you're getting this extra game, right, like you're going to want to get guys off their feet a little bit more. Can you really get after it the way that you want to as a coach with all this added work that these guys are going to have to do? Like, I would love to ask
one
a coach
game?
that. Yeah, like,
well, you're
you gotta
getting
think
an
about,
extra bye week.
Like the grind of going from OTAs all the way through a season. You got to have, I think, a nice game plan to keep your guys as healthy as they can. I think that's going to be a bit of a challenge, too.
My gut is that if you polled all these players and said, we're going to give you more money, another game check, we're going to give you an extra bye week, I think they'd sign up for it.
I don't know, man.
The veterans might not.
Yeah, that's why I brought up the PA. Because I think, to your point, AR, if I'm player X that's, scratching and clawing to keep these checks alive year in and year out, absolutely. Like, absolutely. Let's run it up and add another game to this thing.
They're not going to be on the agenda this week. They're not bringing the tush push back in, are they? I mean, as far as like talking about it.
I haven't seen much of the conversation, and I'm glad that it hasn't been brought up because I'm over it.
It died as in it's living, meaning they're not talking about it anymore. Yeah, that was the Green Bay Packers. They had like 22 votes last year. They were only 2 votes shy of getting it out.
So maybe in time, if it's brought back, it will. I never really had a big beef with it because it was only one team doing it. Like, if it was the whole league doing it.
One team was doing it consistently. The other team was doing it, and they did it poorly. Josh Allen tried it and didn't work, and it was a big play.
Yeah, but I guess my point was, I don't think it's that big of an issue around the league to the point to where we have to get rid of it.
Well, you know why? Because defenses did a little better job. They did. If you watched, there was a lower rate of conversion on tush pushes this year than there were last year. I'm looking at some stats now. Teams converted first downs. Now, I don't know if these are true tush pushes or just quarterback sneaks, or would you call them the same, but quarterback sneaks, teams converting first downs on quarterback sneaks was 77.5%, which was, they do break it down. The tush push and a quarterback sneak are two different things. The tush push was 76.5%. A regular quarterback sneak was 77.5%. So that's compared to 2024. You go back, offenses converted first downs on 82% of tush push plays and 75.8% of traditional. So defenses actually did better. They have adjusted to this. Or maybe the refs are actually calling a little bit of offensive movement more than they used to.
Maybe, yeah.
And you know my thing, where I trapped Dean Blandino at the baggage carousel at the Super Bowl. I'm like, hey,
what's going on?
Dean, can we start calling a little lining up in the neutral zone on quarterback sneaks?
And he was like, you're onto something with that. Yeah.
And
why aren't they calling that?
And I answered my own question. I said, I know why. And he's like, why? And I go, because the offense has such an advantage that they're like, screw it. We can't call lining up in the neutral zone on the defense. They're at a disadvantage as it is.
Sorry, I'm just not over it. When TLC just played.
Hey, Dean, get your index card. Measure this. Exactly.
Oh, my goodness. I do agree with you, though, AR, like the whole part of the, I guess, pushing from behind part from like a teammate. That's where it gets a little strange.
We'll leave it at that.
I knew it.
We're going to come back. We'll tell the truth. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
WNBC. We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Spring is hatching at the Columbus Zoo. Join us April 3rd and 4th for Eggs, Paws, and Claws. Snap a pic with the Easter Bunny, meet Egbert, roll into Shelley's Celebration, and crack the clues in the Eggsplorer and find. It's 2 extra fun days you won't want to miss. Get your discounted tickets at Kroger.
Common Man here for Jermaine. Everybody's talking about affordability when buying a car these days, but the truth is, GoJermaine.com has a great selection of affordable inventory. Maybe that tax return's going to hit your mailbox pretty soon. Well, go see my friends because they have 300 new cars under 30 grand, over 300 used cars under 20 grand, and it's only at GoJermaine.com. And along with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Get started at GoJermaine.com.
Save big money in all of your household essentials when you shop at Menards.
rinse. Soften your water with Diamond Crystal Water Softener Salt. It helps your soap and detergent clean better, minimizes hard water stains, and increases the life of your appliances. Save big money on all solar natural softener salt at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. You know, spring cleaning is a thing that happens in the spring. Go figure, it's in the name. But as you're getting rid of some stuff in your house that you no longer need, doesn't work right, or you never should have had in the first place, why don't you add your windows to that list? Yeah, your windows may have bad insulation. That's why they let in the cold air in the winter and the warm air in the summer. Makes your home less energy efficient. It's costing you money every single month. With Window Nation, you get high-quality, energy-efficient products at a great price. All of Window Nation's products are backed by a lifetime warranty, and right now is a great time to upgrade. The more you buy, the more you save in March. Up to 50% off all window styles from Window Nation. Plus, there's great financing options, including $0 down, 0% interest for 60 months, and payments as little as $199 a month. The first step is getting a consultation with Window Nation so they can find the problem areas in your house. I'm going to guess they're near the windows. So schedule that consultation for free today at windownation.com. Once again, that's windownation.com.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Columbus has a new football team, the Aviators. UFL football lands April 3rd. Be there for our home opener at historic Crew Stadium. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now at uflaviators.com. That's uflaviators.com. United, we fly.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community's stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Common Man and Timmy.
Rubber bands. What's wrong with that?
A rubber band.
Rubber band.
A rubber band.
Rubber band.
Rubber. You're saying rubber.
Rubber.
Common Man and Timmy Afternoons on the Fan is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by KDHVAC, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by McDaniel GM Superstore. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Maddie, I saw Dave McMiniman was
successful.
On. And I've told you the story when we used to have Dave.
Couple different ways, by the way.
Dave McMiniman on the show, and also Pat McManaman,
who used to cover the Browns. Yeah. I think up there for ESPN.
That was a tough introduction for me for a while.
It was.
We go very slow.
Dave McMiniman's winning at life right now.
All right, TLC, take us home.
All right, Rothman, you and your buddies need to get together and figure out if you guys are safe from the no-dos. So the internet tells me that no-dos is generally safe for adults when used occasionally in recommended doses, but it can be dangerous if overused. Potential dangers and side effects: overdose. Taking more than the recommended dose can lead to acute toxicity, severe agitation, tremors, and seizures. Do you or any of your old buddies, did you happen to overdose on no-dos back in the day, not keeping track of how much you were taking?
Good, clean energy. That's how we referred to it back then. I would say it was more for, well, it was done for two things. It was one, if you had to pull an all-nighter and study for something. And then the other one was for driving. Literally, if you were on a road trip.
This is like Adderall?
No,
because I don't know a lot of people I went to like school with in college.
It was basically
Adderall.
caffeine in pill form. It wasn't
okay.
Yeah, this was if you
I
didn't
know
like
a lot of people who
coffee.
were doing Adderall the night before exams.
Me too.
I was not one of
That
them.
was past my generation. We didn't.
Yeah, when you said that, it kind of rang
I don't
a
know
bell.
when Adderall was created.
Because the TLC's point, like a lot of people I went to school with, like, oh my God, I got this exam tomorrow, this long paper to write. Like, I'm going to take Adderall today and be up all day and night, I guess. I don't know.
I haven't thought about. I don't know why no-dos came up for me. We were talking about something, and I can't last week, and I just said, well, back in my day. That's all. I don't remember. But
Is Adderall?
I don't know when that was
safe
created.
To take recreationally. Here's what the internet says.
Curious over there.
You asking your boy Chad?
No, I'm asking Google AI overview. I'm asking the View. No, it is not safe to take Adderall recreationally. It is a Schedule II controlled substance with a high potential for abuse and dependence, similar to cocaine. Yeah,
So you can't get it over the counter.
Similar to cocaine.
Well,
interesting.
maybe it's cocaine.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Look Clapton for you.
Oh, does he have a song? He might be listening to us right now. He's local, or at least used to be.
Wouldn't that be great?
If Eric, hey, tough question at the presser. Tiger Woods, what station were you listening to?
As he was texting and driving and changing the station at the same time.
He don't lie. He don't lie. He don't lie.
That's what I would want to know.
Okay.
Tigers got to get together, man.
Would you like to guess? Actually, I should research the answer to this before I throw you the question. But our poll from yesterday, as we discussed with Bobby a little bit ago, a couple segments ago, if you go to a ball game for a first date and you get put on the kiss cam, do you go for it? The answers were either yes kiss or no kiss. What do you think the results were from our listeners who participated in the poll on X?
Okay, so I'll guess this. I wish there was a third. The only third that I would bring up would be that you let the other person initiate.
Okay.
But to answer this one, I would say it's going to be yes. The people go for it. You're in a casual situation. It's a ball game. And by the way, the kiss doesn't have to be some sort of
a little pet.
Everlasting gobstopper here, Willy Wonka. It could be just it could be just a simple deal. So I'm going to go.
That's an interesting way to describe making out with somebody.
I'm going to go 70-30 on yes.
Yes is I believe, the winner in this. I think they won.
Care to guess?
I'll go 80-20.
Oh. How about 78-22?
Okay, it's pretty close.
You are right on it.
So people are just down, AR, to just...
People are just
have
down.
at it. Have at it.
No.
It's a lot of lips, baby.
But you also don't want to look like a coward. That's why I think, there are certain things that a guy's got to do. You got to make the first move. And so
I think you got to face the rejection. Yeah, I do. I'm with you, and I don't think if you're on a first date, you're probably not getting rejected on that. But it's a weird place to burn the first kiss. I brought that up yesterday because if it's someone you think you're going to be with or want to be with for a long time, I don't know if you want to burn the first kiss
Let me ask
at
you
a
this.
ball game.
When and where is the proper time for the first kiss?
Somewhere probably a little more romantic and somewhere a little more private. That's all I would say.
Date number...
Oh, I don't know about the number.
Date number 3? Is that when you go in? Is that the advice you give some lads listening right now?
I'm not giving that advice. If you think 3 is the one.
Set the over-under.
I don't know.
Over-under, 1.5 dates.
I would go over. I would go over 1.5 days until I go in.
That's why the first date is a tricky one.
Oh, it really is. And then what do you do for the first date? Like all that. It can be a lot. It can be a lot.
Call up the stadium first. Do you guys do kiss cam? Not anymore. Good. I'll take 2 tickets.
Be at the game. Yeah, I don't go in for kisses on the first date. It's just not in my...
Is that a nice handshake?
In my deal.
What are we doing?
Ice likes to play hard to get.
Hey, it was nice coming out.
It was a great day.
I usually go in for like a little church hug.
Okay.
Yeah, on the way out.
A little peace be with you.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Do you consider ABS exciting?
Yes. It's doing something for me watching these games. It really is. And it's not a long time. Like yesterday I was watching some of the Guardians, Dodgers, and then the Yankees and Mariners game. And the Yankees got like 5 in a row that were correct. And you can just see the umpires cringing when they get their call overturned because it's just nothing but you and a spotlight on you in kind of a bad way. But it's an added element to the game right now that I am enjoying. And I also love the part that it does not take long. So I'm here for it.
Yeah. Part of just the way I'm wired, I feel some sympathy for the umpire as far as like the embarrassment of it with CB Buckner. Every time that dude had to turn around, it's like, I think it's basically because I don't want it to turn into, well, clearly this game has passed him by. He can't see. He's
also an umpire that's had a dicey reputation.
Yeah.
So he was an easy target for people like over the years that weren't fans of his.
Yeah.
I love this because now the umpires can't run and hide. Players can't run and hide. They can get booed and all that stuff. Like umpires, it's okay.
Last
You'll be
night,
fine.
so I'm watching the end of the Reds game last night, and
first place Reds.
And I don't know why the Pirates didn't challenge a call at the end on a strikeout. Not the end of the game strikeout, but they had
I know
2 to burn.
And
it's
he pump faked it too.
Yeah,
He looked like he was about to go to the helmet, and then he stopped.
You got to do it. I mean, at that point, don't go home with those.
It's the
They
ninth
only
inning.
have 2 seconds to do it. That's the rule.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
He should have hesitated. It was too close, and it was on a punch out.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it.
And April Fool's is tomorrow. How often do you get faked out by parody accounts on Twitter reporting false news?
I probably would have been faked out if you didn't remind me that it was April 1st tomorrow.
Between it being April 1st tomorrow and AI, it's going to be some crazy stuff popping off. Crazy stuff popping off, I have to guess, for April Fool's.
I already told you which AI videos got me.
Tupac and Biggie.
Tupac and Biggie in a
Fighting in a ring.
wrestling ring.
Getting ready for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Hey, before we go, you miss anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. Just type in Rothman and Ice, everything we do from noon to 3. We'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Common Man and Timmy coming up next. They'll take you to 6 o'clock.
All right. We will talk to you tomorrow at high noon. Have an awesome final day of March, apparently, and we'll hit you tomorrow at high noon. Rothman and Ice on the Fan. Measure this.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus